Hello, Brian.
Hello, Joe.
What are you doing?
Just hanging.
Yeah, you're not sober, are you? This isn't sober October for you.
Oh, no.
You're not doing it?
Nah.
No, you can get high. I'll watch.
Okay.
If you want
Can I
to.
blow it on you?
Yeah. I don't think that counts.
There's a.
I'll take one of these.
It's got to be. Oh, this is a joint. This fat.
Oh,
boy.
really?
Yeah, that's all weed. That's Mike Tyson's weed.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Look at this. I got a torch.
Oh, you got a
cigar
crack
torch.
pipe.
I could smoke a cigar with you.
Oh, sweet.
That's legal. Ari and I were thinking that when we started Sober October, we started smoking cigars. We were thinking maybe that will disqualify us and we could just quit.
Yeah, what does it, like, kombucha has alcohol.
Kombucha?
Yeah.
But it can't really get you drunk. You stay sober. You would have to drink a case of it to even catch a buzz.
But if you scheduled a doctor's appointment, like a dentist appointment, they gave you some
yeah.
pills or something.
You get
Is
lit
that
up.
okay?
Yeah, like what if you get surgery? Like what if somebody got their appendix taken out?
Yeah, are you allowed to do any kind of, like, medication or medicine? Or
No, you have to die. There's no real rules for that. I mean, look, it's not the thing about this contest that's really stupid is there's no consequences.
Not even a friendly penalty of
No,
like
there's nothing.
open for
There's
someone.
nothing.
Or
I could have a glass of wine right now. Nothing could happen.
Yeah. Oh, no, I lost.
Yeah. Oh my God, I lost. I'll tell you what though, I've been getting a lot of messages from people that are inspired, and it makes me feel real good. I reached out to some dude yesterday on Instagram because he lost something like 200 fucking pounds. You know, I mean, it's crazy. That's the dude who had the scars all over because he got his the extra skin removed after he lost all the weight. It's amazing. Sober October. You know, sometimes you just have to have a thing like that where everybody goes, I'm going to do it too. And then it gives you the reason, like a motivation to get going. Sometimes that's all people need, man.
Yeah, I just got over the keto thing, so now I'm just like, fuck that. I feel like I'm free again. Like I can, have normal food again, and that's hard to do, man.
Keto's hard to do.
It kind of got to me to the point where now I'm like doing the opposite. Like I'm just like, I want to eat everything because I've been wanting to eat pizza for so long, and
Catholic school girls. Tell them to stay away from tech, and they can't wait to get a hold of one.
100%.
That's what it is. It's people don't like being told what to do. They don't like being forced into something that they don't enjoy. That's why school is ineffective. That's why so many things don't work. But the keto thing, the problem with it is, I think it's a healthy thing for a lot of folks. If you have epilepsy, apparently it's the thing because it can stop your seizures. There's people that have epilepsy. They get ketogenic and it just kicks it off. It just you don't get seizures anymore. But it's boring.
Yeah.
Every now and then I want pasta and also fruit. I like fruit.
That was the biggest one for me, just fruit. Like watermelon. You know how great just having some watermelon in the morning is,
Oh my God. It's the most delicious fruit ever, I think. Like a good, perfect watermelon on a hot day. My God. It's amazing. It's a fucked up fruit, though, because it's only racist fruit. It's like the only fruit that's attached to racism. There's no other fruit where you can make fun of someone for eating and it's like racist. Have you ever had that durian shit?
Yeah, it's good.
It's not bad, right? But God, it smells weird.
Horrible. It smells horrible.
Have you had it, Jamie? It's like they have it in Thailand. In Thailand, they love it. I tried it in Thailand. It's like this weird.
It's like spiky looking.
Yeah, spiky on the outside. And then the inside, it's kind of mango-like, sort of like a pale mango. It's not my favorite, but I tried it. But God damn, it smells like dog shit. It smells so bad that they ban it in a lot of hotels because people will go into hotels and, like folks that come from a culture where they eat that stuff all the time. They'll bring bags of it. And the whole family's eating that stuff and it wafts down the hallway and people are like, what in the fuck?
It says it smells like Limburger. Or
Like
it has
Limburger
been
cheese? Compared
to Limburger.
Yeah, it's got a weird smell.
You can't take it on public transportation in some places either.
Wow.
Yeah, it stinks. It's weird, but it tastes good.
My friend did that fasting diet.
What's that?
The one that everyone's not fasting. The one where you only eat like a small part of the day.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah,
intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting, and he woke up sleepwalking one night and found out on his Nest cams, like his security cameras. He goes into the bathroom, passes and like not falls down and hits his head. And he showed a picture. It's just blood everywhere in his bathroom. Goes back to bed. Didn't even know about it. Wakes up and he sees blood everywhere. Checks his cameras. Finally, he's sleepwalking. A couple days later, he starts having seizures, like out of the blue. Goes to the doctor, and the doctor says it's because of that diet he was doing. His brain was starving. That's what that doctor said.
That doctor's making shit up.
Yeah, you think that?
Yeah, that guy needs to go to a neurologist. He's probably got a fucking brain tumor.
One thing, though, I did know is that when I was on keto, I slept-walked a lot. And I think it was my body trying to find sugar.
Really?
Yeah, because I never sleepwalk because I have cameras in my living room. And
can't do this on this.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. But when I was on keto, I sleepwalked maybe 10 times. Since I've been off, haven't sleepwalked once. And
Can you say sleptwalked? Is that the right?
Sleptwalk?
It's sleepwalked. Is it sleep when you talk about past tense? Is it sleepwalked or sleptwalked?
Sleptwalked.
What is it? It's
sleepwalked.
I've never
I would
heard
say
anybody
sleepwalked. Yeah, it's probably sleepwalked.
But I don't think I've ever heard anybody say it past tense.
You can't past tense the first part of the compound word.
Oh, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Slept. I slept
Sleptwalk.
well last night, but I slept walked.
Yeah,
I did some sleepwalking. You could say that.
sleepwalking. Yeah, but I think that's kind of interesting. I wonder if it was my body craving sugar so bad that it woke me up. Because I was like going through the cupboards trying to find sugar.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was, but I don't
crazy.
remember any of it.
How long were you keto for?
7 months.
Yeah?
8 months.
The intermittent fasting is a good move because I think most of the time, look, for me, I eat when I'm bored. I do it all the time. Like when I come home from the store and I'm writing, I just start eating. And then I'm like, what am I doing? Because I try to do intermittent fasting. So that means if I come home and it's midnight and I'm writing and I start eating, that means I can't eat until 2 in the afternoon the next day.
And then just don't wake up till 2 in the afternoon.
I don't do that. I can't. I got to work. I got stuff to do. I have kids. I have responsibilities. I'm not like a Peter Pan like you.
Right. No, I think that would be the diet that makes the most sense. But because I already seem to only eat once a day, which it's not healthy though to eat once a day.
No, it's not. You should get a nutritionist. You got some cash. You should hire a trainer and get a nutritionist.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going back to Weight Watchers. I'm almost at my fattest level. Right? You know, I want to get really fat and then do what I always.
You said that before. You were on a strategy before. I'm like, you keep saying you're going to lose weight. You're like, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to get really big and then I'm going to lose weight. I'm like, what?
Because I always forget to take the before photo and then I'm like halfway through a diet. I'm like, God damn it! Now I gotta quit
normal.
this.
Now it's like, oh yeah, but you didn't look that bad before you dieted.
Right. I got my big fat beard on. Just this beard, it looks like I gained 20 pounds.
Yeah, just shave the beard at the end. It's sort of like when people get a tan and they're after photos and they look more ripped.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
like before, after. Like the after, you just tan, bro. Tan with better lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I follow a lot of bodybuilder girls. And I don't know why it's disturbing to me, but when they start cutting down weight and then you see them like monitoring their food and watching their portions and shit and they're getting leaner and leaner, it bothers me. Like I get nervous.
Why?
I don't know. I'm like, it's like, don't do that. Like, ugh, just fucking, why? Like, what are you doing? Just losing all your fat just so you can get on stage and squeeze everything? And pose? I get it, you know, but I don't think that looks the best. That's why I don't understand. That's what weirds me out. I don't think it looks the best, especially for ladies when you're like super shredded. It just doesn't.
I don't even like when they have those man shoulders, you know, where you see like a really beautiful girl and then she takes off her cardigan or whatever and you're like, oh, she has like her frame looks like a man. I don't like
that. Doesn't bother me. That means she's durable. It bothers me when they get shredded. I don't know why. It seems like they're suffering. Like it seems like a mistake. You know what I mean? Like I guess this is probably what it is. I guess I connected to anorexics because anorexics legitimately freak me out. There was this one girl that I used to do yoga with, and it was so sad, man. It was so sad. She would come in and everyone would be like, fuck. She was like 80 pounds. Her whole body was bones. She was just bones.
Joaquin Phoenix and the Joker.
Oh my
God. What the fuck did he do to get down to that?
He lost 50 pounds.
And his shoulder looked all fucked up too.
Well, he was just posing in weird ways to... I mean, he nailed that role, dude. He really...
He hasn't seen it. I didn't want to say too much, but...
No spoilers.
So you think I should go to the theater for this one?
No, you can watch it at home.
Okay.
I mean, when's it coming out at home?
You'd have to wait. It just
2
came
months.
out, so you still have to wait.
Oh, there's a new thing apparently where you can get home movies at home. Or home movies at home.
Torrents.
You can get theater. No, not even torrents. You can get it like legitimately, and you pay quite a bit of money.
Really?
But yeah. There's some new thing.
Yeah, that should be a thing. Like, you pay. How many people would you normally go to a movie with? Like 4 people. Each ticket's about $20 nowadays.
Yeah.
Pay $60 so you can rent it for 24 hours.
That would be the shit.
Yeah.
I wanted to do the opposite. I was trying to look up to see how much it would cost to rent Interstellar to have a screening at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood. That was the coolest movie and sound I've ever seen, and I want people I know to experience that.
Oh, right,
because
right,
it was
right. With good
fucking
sound.
so awesome. And I don't like it.
Do you look up how much it is?
I couldn't. You can do screenings there. I think you'd have to figure out how much it costs to rent the print of the movie.
Yeah,
and
it
have
used to be
sent there.
used to be 35 millimeter prints when I was a projectionist. People would rent like, hey, we just rented Back to the Future for our company picnic, and you would like as a projectionist, you would get it in the mail with all the other films, and you're like, what the fuck? Why is Back to the Future here? And I don't think it's that much. I think it's only a couple hundred actually.
Why don't we have a JRE movie night?
That'd be perfect.
We rent a
Dope.
movie theater.
Hey,
That would be the shit.
sick.
Where would we go though?
any big theaters? I don't know.
You know where you want to go? You want to go to one of them Cineopolis. Cineopolis.
They have,
You know
like,
the ones?
drinks?
Yeah, they have drinks
Draft
and
house?
food, and the seats lean back.
yeah.
You get an assigned seat.
You could do those.
Yeah, we should find out.
Do that where you wanted to watch those movies like that Roar movie with the tigers or the lions
Oh,
and
some
tigers.
stupid movies. Well, according to Joey Diaz, the new Rambo is Roadhouse times a million. He goes, Joe Rogan, you got to see this fucking movie. I was crying laughing. He goes, it's Roadhouse times a million.
It seems like it.
It looks ridiculous. Well, he's 1,000 years old and he's fucking everybody up. And he
I
never
also
even
read it
gets
was
hit.
low budget though. Like really like what?
Really?
That's surprisingly low budget.
Maybe he's like decided and he's going to keep all his money. When you're that age, right? Like, how old is Stallone now? Is he 77?
72, I think.
Let's guess. How old?
74, I bet. And do you think he's older or younger than Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I think he's older. How old is he, Jamie?
I want to say 72, but I'd
Okay,
go
let's
with
try.
a year older.
Let's try. I'm saying 76.
74.
73.
73.
Just turned 73 July 6th.
Okay. So when you're 73, you got to feel like at the most, if everything goes amazing, you got 30 years. And the last 10, you ain't going to remember shit. So you got 20 years to burn through a big-ass pile of cash. What are you going to do? You going to spend it all on Rambo movies? Yo, there's a fucking dog over here. What is that picture?
It's a fake coyote on a golf course.
Why does he have a fake coyote on a golf course? Is that to keep like birds away or some shit?
I don't know, whatever. To protect him.
Hey, don't come get me! What is he doing? Hey!
Playing around.
He's got some skinny legs, man. Take that picture of his legs again. That is crazy. That makes me nervous that he can walk upstairs. What's that? Why is his leg so skinny? That looks like an injury or something. Like his leg is shrunk. Doesn't that look weird?
I mean, he doesn't even look like he has any body right there.
He's so jacked, though. Yeah. Apparently, in that movie, he's super jacked. He might have like knee and back problems, though. When you got back problems, man, your legs shrink. Hey, yo, this was me when I was younger. I was fucking jacked. Ah! when you, I know a dude who's got a severe back problem, and one of his legs is like shriveled up because his nerves aren't firing correctly. He went to Germany apparently, and he got a bunch of discs replaced, and it just didn't work well. And he's just got all sorts of inflammation and scar tissue, and his nerves are blocked off. Like he had a bunch of fucked up discs. So he went and he got a bunch of them replaced in one shot and stayed over there for a few months. And now his body's just fucking up, like left and right. When you get real back problems are fucking scary as shit. I sent Dean Del Rey to Lifespan Medicine to deal with his neck. Dean Del Rey's got a bulging disc so bad. He's like, dude, I worry when people bump into me. And like when people bump into him, he's in pain.
Oh yeah, I thought I had a stroke.
Yeah, like if you pass by him and accidentally like bump into him a little bit, he's like like he gets a stinger.
From headbanging or?
No, from a motorcycle crash.
Oh.
Yeah.
Some methed up lady nailed him on his
like
bike.
left over from a few years ago.
Yeah, he got fucked up pretty bad, and it's not getting any better.
Yeah. And it was so weird because he's like, I quit riding bikes, for after that. But then he got a bike like 6 months later. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You almost died. And
well, I think for Dean, he's trying to make he bought a nice car, like a Porsche. He had a great deal on it, and then he flipped it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, not flipped it, like died, like in a crash, like Kevin Hart style. He he turned it over and made some money
Trade
off of
up.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that's when he bought a bike. But yeah, I guess people who love bikes, man, they think it's worth the risk.
fuck that. Out here, I can't believe that there's not more of those scooter deaths everywhere. Like,
I know, right?
Yeah.
Dude, those things are goddamn fast. When we were in Denver, they're everywhere. And everybody's riding those electric scooters all over the place. And you're like, is that really how you want to go out?
Yeah.
You didn't try mine yet, did you?
No, is it fast?
24 miles an hour.
Dude, yours looks pretty good.
Way faster than those bird shoot, all those.
Do you
Way
trust that
faster.
shit? I don't trust that shit anymore.
I don't know,
I
man.
flipped over my bike a couple years ago, and I'm like, that's a message.
Yeah.
I know too many people that are broken. My friend broke both of his arms on one of those scooters. He flipped and he landed on his arms, both of his arms, and he had to have his mom live with him for like a couple months because he couldn't do anything.
When I was doing Zookeeper with Kevin James,
Oh, yeah.
I did a lot of my own bike riding. And I fucking wiped out hard because I didn't realize that if we were in this scene where he was beside me and I was trying to hit him with a flag, and he was beside me on his bike, and I was holding on to the handlebars with my left hand, which is your front wheel. So when I hit the brakes on my left hand, I just went flying over the top of the handlebars. I didn't do it just once either. I fucking wiped out pretty hard. Like, here,
Yeah.
watch.
It shows in slow mo right
DVD extra right
Hey,
here.
watch. Ba-boom. Yeah. It's a
Ouch.
pretty good wipeout.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did on my bike. I flipped over like exactly like that.
But I got lucky. Didn't get hurt. But it's just luck. You know, you land on your arm wrong, your elbow goes backwards, and then you're fucked. And then
That was just you grabbing the brake wrong brake, right?
Yeah. I just went over the handlebars. But you could, bikes, you could get fucked up. When I was in Utah recently, we were driving down the road, and we saw this lady fall on her bike. She was across the street on the other side, and she was trying to do something, and she just got tangled up in her pedal and just dumped over and landed on one arm, tried to post on her left arm and snapped her arm. And then she couldn't get up. She was screaming, so we went over and pulled over. And people don't know how to deal with injuries. So people are like, okay, let's take your backpack off. I go, don't touch her. I go, she has a broken arm. Listen to me. Don't touch her. And I'm like, listen, we're gonna get you a hospital. We'll get you an ambulance. And it was lucky that she was like a block away from the police station. But people want to do things. They want to like, okay, let's take her arm and put it in a splint. And let's tape it up. No, don't do shit.
Yes, neck injuries also and back
my
like
God.
car accidents. People are like
Yeah.
not even.
Well, Kevin Hart's accident, they pulled him out of the car, and then they took him to his house. I'm like, and he had 3 broken vertebrae. Like, yeah,
Jesus.
don't do that. Don't touch anybody. Like you can just yank someone the wrong way after an injury and make them way worse. Especially like this lady's arm was so obviously broken. The cops didn't even notice it. The cops came over. And they're like, oh, so how's everything right now? Are you feeling okay? Anything wrong? I go, she's got a broken arm. He's like, where's the arm broken? I go, look at her left arm. He's like, oh. Like look, her fucking left arm was so broken. It's like when you see someone's broken bones. And unfortunately, I'm really used to it. I see so many injuries from fights, from the UFC. I'm so used to seeing breaks and things broken. I just looked at it. I was like, yep, that is. Like her elbow was like, her arm went straight and her elbow went back. I'm like, we're not moving. Don't take her backpack off. But she started hyperventilating. Like, she had never broken anything. She was 50. She's like, I've never broken a bone before. I'm like, it's not a bad one. It's just an arm. Like, you're going to be all right. Put it in a cast. 6 weeks from now, you're going to be laughing at this. People sign your cast. You'll have a funny story. It's just a broken arm. Have you ever broken an arm, Jamie?
I, knock on wood, have not broken a bone.
No bones?
Nothing.
What about you?
Same here.
God
we got that
damn.
Ohio water.
Get a good dairy.
yeah, not
That's
dairy.
what it is. Ohio dairy. That and no contact sports.
Big football state. Come on, Joe.
Did you play football?
Yeah. Not in high school, but up to high school.
Up to high school?
Yeah.
Well, when you're a little kid, it seems like you can just get fucking plowed over and you bend and
they
bounce
throw
back
you into
up.
each other. The dads will just grab you and just smack you into each other.
But kids are so light. They're so light and they just bounce off each other.
When we talk about bikes, have you seen this before? I'm gonna play this video, but
Fuck this.
It's
Yeah.
What is this?
it's called the Mountain of Hell. There's another name for it too. I can't remember, like Mountain Apocalypse or something like that. They start in France on the top of the Alps. 2,000 bikers.
Is that snow?
Yeah, it's on the top of a glacier. You end up going like 5,000 feet downhill. So it's like a mile or two down.
And you're riding on ice?
Yeah, these are the guys in front. But here in a second, when they have to turn, it creates
It gets
this
fucked.
fucking insane pileup of
people
that
that-
you can't avoid.
Yeah.
So you have to be in front.
Oh my God.
It'll happen here in a
Right,
second.
here we go.
Here's the first one, and then it just causes a major pileup.
Bing!
He was getting fucked up.
Bang! Boom! And then dudes are trying to dive out of the way.
Yeah. And you're just going downhill. It's like on a ski slope, but everyone's on mountain bikes, for those that are listening.
Oh! Now, it's like ants. Look at them. And then dudes are braking early to try to avoid it, and they're just wiping out at the top. Oh my God. What a stupid thing to do. When you know that many people are going to crash, look at this guy on the outside trying to go. Fell
Some
on
guys
his
haven't
own.
even made it down there yet. They're still at the top.
Yeah, and they're going to try to figure out a path. But you can't really hit the brakes, right?
You're on ice.
Yeah.
You're going downhill on ice, so I don't know how that
Bitch.
works.
This is so dumb. Look at that. Boom!
But if you make it out of there,
Boom.
you're safe, and you get to win.
What is that? What do you win?
There might be some money at the end. I don't know.
It's like doing Sober October.
For you, a croissant. You get a croissant. Yeah, it's just like Sober October. It's just stupid.
yeah.
Well, the best thing, I really believe the best thing about Sober October is it inspires people that actually do have a problem. Bert Kreischer inspires people to. Bert Kreischer, and here's a crazy thing that Bert Kreischer told me. Because, you know, Ari Shaffir and him had a little bit of an incident with some MDMA. I don't know if you know about that. Bert said that ever since taking that MDMA, he has zero desire to drink. He said it really cleaned it out, and that he heard that when you take ecstasy, that ecstasy like kills your desire to drink, that it does something to you it makes drinking seem really silly. And he said he's super focused.
It probably was actually, honestly, a really good thing for him if he hadn't done it in a while, because there is positives for doing it. I mean,
Yeah, I
the circumstances were not the best.
The
but-
circumstances were the worst. At home with his kids, Ari dosing them. But he said that, he feels amazing and that, like, he really does feel focused and clear.
That's great.
Huh.
If Ari would have done it to me, I wouldn't have cared as much. But you know.
But your body's like a fucking
I know.
petri dish.
I was wondering because I did his podcast the day before.
You wonder if he's going to dope you?
I know. I was wondering if he did, and then it was like, oh, it didn't work because we ended up podcasting.
You were hoping. Redban sitting around hoping he's getting drugged.
but it was
Fingers
a
crossed.
4-hour podcast, and I'm like, did I? Because we did smoke a lot of weed, but I'm like, did I? Maybe I was. Nah.
Well, I remember I gave Chris McGuire some weed, and he was sure that it was laced with something.
Yeah.
You know, he was sure, like, this is not regular weed. There's something in this. He was like really paranoid that there was something in it. You know, like if you're not used to this California weed and you don't smoke a lot, and then you're like, oh, all right, I'll have a couple. Come on, guys. You know, and you get peer pressured into it.
Yeah. Well, I had something the other day that fucked me up. It was because they don't tell you, especially when you're at the Comedy Store and everyone's just passing joints and stuff. This one person was one of those weed fanatics where he had put keef on it and whatever oil, THC oil. Like it had like 3 things on it.
Those guys can fuck off.
Yeah.
Those guys, they give you these joints, and it's got like, it looks golden when you open it up. It's just got so much keef and all the oils and the hash oil, and
Yeah.
that's ridiculous. Like, why do you want to get that high? Like, what is wrong with them?
Their tolerance, I guess. You know, like I don't understand it because I could take 2 hits of the shittiest joint and be like, you know what, that was great. I'm fine.
If you ever do Be Real Smoke Box, be very
Oh
careful.
yeah, I've been asked to.
Please be careful, because you got to drive home after that, and you don't even know where you are. If it wasn't for navigation systems, I'd still be living in downtown LA.
Yeah.
I would have never figured out how to get home.
That's what the Tesla comes in for.
Let it drive for you. Yeah, it's like These guys just smoke all day, every day. And to them, that's their baseline. Like their normal is just being super duper high. So they're used to it. Like we got so high before we even got into the car, you know, and then you get into the car with the cameras in it and they do like this podcast and you're like, it's surreal. It's like an out of body experience.
Yeah.
And you feel really paranoid and really worked up. Like, oh.
Yeah, no thanks. I don't
Yeah.
like that shit. I don't like that. Why even bother doing that? No one likes that.
They do.
How do you
Obviously,
like
somebody likes that.
How?
There's people that like that. Yeah.
They put the leaf blowers full of weed and just blow it on each other. There's tons of videos of that going on.
Yeah.
Those like high times conventions and
Yeah.
cannabis cups.
Yeah. They take a leaf blower and they pump a bong up.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, but this is like, these are the arguments for weed being illegal. It's like, look at these idiots.
It's also butt chugging.
Butt chugging.
Butt chugging.
Yeah.
So
But the thing is, like, it's weird. It's like we have this line of personal responsibility, right? You can go to any bar and they don't check to see if you've already been drinking. They don't know what your tolerance is. They don't know anything. You get to any bar, you give me 2 shots of Jack Daniels and Grey Goose on the rocks. They just give it to you. Bang. Nobody cares. They just think you can figure it out. You know, like, how much of a responsibility does a bartender actually have?
a lot.
Do they?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can go. They can go to jail too.
The bartender can.
If they don't
Depending on the
stop you.
state, I think. Yeah.
That to me is so ridiculous. I don't think I think
Overserved, like if you get overserved and they can prove it, you're just as responsible if he like drives home drunk and kills somebody.
if you know someone's going to drive, the problem is, like I was talking about this on stage once, that the real problem with drunk driving is not that people can't drive when they're drunk. The problem when you're drinking is you don't know if you can drive or not. You don't know how drunk you are because you're drunk. Like you might have 3 drinks and you might fail a drunk driving breathalyzer, but you might be able to drive perfectly, you know? But if you have 4 drinks or 5 drinks, you might think it's okay to have 6 or 7. Like you don't know where you are. You don't know like where you are on the spectrum of drunk or not drunk when you're really drunk. That's part of being drunk. You don't know what the fuck's going on. That's why that's why the consent issue when you're really drunk is weird. You know, it's because it's like some people like to get drunk and have sex. And then some people say, well, you should never have sex with someone when they're drunk because they can't consent because they're drunk. Okay. But then that's like 90% of all people having sex.
Yeah.
Like how many people have sex while they're drunk?
I only have sex when I'm drunk. I have to be drunk. I don't know. I'm dealing with a bunch of stuff.
Dealing with a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Well, I think autonomous cars, that's gonna be very interesting how they deal with alcohol in autonomous cars. Because if like you have a drunk mode, like if autonomous car, like say if you have a Tesla in 2026, right, and it has the option to be completely autonomous, it drives on its own, or you can go manual. So it detects that you're drunk. It says, Mr. Redban, you are intoxicated. We would like to drive. And then you have to let it take you. Like, do you think there's going to come a point in time where drunk driving doesn't apply because your car is going to drive you home?
It makes the final decision for you. I'm all for it.
Like, it wouldn't be hard to have a breathalyzer on a car.
They do that now.
Yeah, I have a friend who he got arrested for a DUI, like more than one, and he had to blow into his thing on his van, his work van. He had to blow into his little thing before it would let him start the car.
Yeah.
This is another Demolition Man coming full circle again, because there's that scene where he gets in and he makes the car. He's like, "Give me control," and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're gonna drive?" And he's like, "Yeah, manual control. Give me that shit." And he chases after the guy.
What year was Demolition Man supposed to be in?
Now I think I'll double check. But like it came out like
I might need to watch that again.
Wesley Snipes.
They're doing that THC breathalyzer next year.
What are they going to find out?
Supposedly it detects if there's THC, like if you have smoked in the last, 3 hours.
The problem with that is they've done studies that show that people drive well when they're high. You know, they have done studies. There's been these tests, and they're not, you know, it's not randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled studies. But they have done some studies where they show that people drive well high. I know they have.
2030.
Look at me.
2032 is when it takes.
2032, that's not
2032.
far away. That's actually pretty close.
He gets frozen for 36 years and wakes up in 2032.
Oh, wow. Isn't that funny? What they used to think is going to be going on.
Yeah.
You know, like, in 2000, they'll just be able to freeze you.
Wait, wasn't
Nope.
that Back to the Future that was like 2017 or something like that? Back to
Oh,
the
yeah.
Future 2?
Yeah.
And then you look at it, you're like, that's...
When they came back, the second one,
Yeah.
Back to the Future 2. Yeah. I don't know. It's like nobody ever gets it right. Like they get a couple things right, but everybody thinks we're going to be way more advanced than we are. You remember Space 1999? Do you remember that?
1999. What's that?
That was a TV show.
Oh,
They thought
yeah.
that 1999 we were just going to be flying around in spaceships and living on the moon. They're always wrong.
What year was the Jetsons supposed to be?
That's
Way
a good
off.
question. That was like 1950. What year was that supposed to be? Yeah, the Jetsons, they had flying cars. But see, the problem with 3 dimensions is you got to keep people locked into grids. Because that way you can keep them from just going up or down or left or right randomly like birds and slamming into each other.
That's probably how it's going to be, though. It's probably going to be you could only do it with the Tesla driving. You know?
Right. If it goes flying, you mean? Mm-hmm. Do you think they'll have that?
Yeah, because they would have to stay in a grid. There would have to be some kind of traffic, to that. People can't be flying all over, like you say, all over the place.
Right.
So they'll have to have like lanes in the sky. But by that time, we're probably not going to have any control of it. It's probably all going to be.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's why helicopters are so weird. Because helicopters, if you get a pilot's light, like when I went up with Burr, I was surprised at how much freedom you have. Like we were flying around downtown LA. He was like, let's go here. You just take a left in the sky, go right, go down, go up, go around here. We were really close to buildings. And you'd be amazed at how many buildings in downtown LA have helicopter pads on the roof. And so you land on the roof, you get out, you open a door, you go downstairs, you avoid all the bullshit. Apparently that's the move in New York City. Tommy Buns was saying that, right?
Blade, I think it's called, yeah.
That's what it's called?
Uber has helicopter now in New York City. Uber helicopter.
Can you imagine some chatty Uber driver that's flying a fucking helicopter and won't shut up?
That's what Kobe Bryant did when he first got like his first big contract. I heard he moved down to Orange County and was just flying a helicopter every day to practice downtown.
Imagine flying
Skip
a
all that
helicopter to the
traffic.
store.
Be sick.
Yeah, if you just go super baller, Kevin Hart style, put a fucking helicopter pad on the roof of the store.
Probably one on the Hyatt, right? No? Oh, no, they have a rooftop like bar up there.
Yeah, I mean the
Andaz
next door,
yeah,
the
they have the
Andaz.
hotel, yeah.
When was the last time it was the Hyatt?
Well,
you didn't, you weren't even living here.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been the Andaz
I
for like
stayed there when it was the Hyatt.
really.
Yeah.
When you
But it
was
might
there?
have been 10 years ago before I actually lived here this time.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah, it seems like it's been. What was it when that dude jumped off of it?
Oh, that was a long time.
That was before,
80s,
way
early
before
80s,
our time.
70s.
Well, it was the 70s, I think, because it was during the strike when people didn't get paid to do comedy at the store.
Right.
And the guy who jumped off, they said he wasn't even good. It's like one of those guys that's like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do this for everybody, and everybody's like, hey man, you're not even really working. You know what I mean? Like there's always those guys. That's one of the weird things about the store. There's comics that are hanging around there that are all working, and then there's a few people that will never work, and they'll never work, and they know they'll never. But they're kind of comics because they've done it a few times.
Right. They're more just there for the bar,
They're there for the hang.
the hang.
Yeah, but it gets weird, right? All of a sudden they're in your conversation, and
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. But luckily, lately, there hasn't been as many, I don't think. Because I think they've been kind of getting called out more by other comics.
wow, it gets weird. It's, can you imagine if that was the case with other occupations? Like CEOs of corporations would hang out with people who want to be CEOs, but they never really started a business, and they're all just hanging out together. It's one of the weird things about art. It's that anybody can create it, and no one's to say that someone who sucks can't just figure it out. There's nothing stopping you from figuring it out, but something is. Like something keeps you from figuring it out, but you don't know what it is. Like how many comics do you know that used to suck and that became good? I know a few. I know quite a few. I know some of them who struggled early in the day, and you're like, wow, I don't know about this guy. I hope he makes it. And then, look, Sebastian had a hard time. Sebastian used to have a hard time. Now he's one of the biggest comics on the planet Earth. He's fucking huge. My friend Mark Delagrate sent me a picture of Sebastian on stage at Boston Garden in the round, 18,000 people. And I'm like, look at him. Look at him. Like, I remember when he was first starting out. He's like a great success story. He really is. Because he was a waiter at the Four Seasons. He was waiting tables. And also doing stand-up at night.
You see him, he makes me laugh.
He's fucking hilarious.
You see him at the MTV Music Awards this year.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I could have told him that was a mistake.
But it's still funny. Like, he's coming out to, like, he's like, hey, these, I don't know. That's like mixed. That's like a bad, like, higher. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Nobody wants to do it. Who the fuck wants to do it? Jesselneck's not going to do it. Who the fuck's going to do it? Who are you going to get to do it? Jeff Ross? Would he do it? He would.
Yeah, he would definitely do it.
He'd probably do it. I mean, you could probably get some comics to do it. Jeff could probably pull it off. That's like his kind of gig, fucking around, talking shit, writing jokes about it. But Sebastian is like, he's Sebastian. That's his thing. His thing is being Sebastian.
Right, kind of old school. That's his joke. Like, these phones, whatever.
But you don't want to see him like host something. You want to see him do an hour set. You want to see him do his set. You don't want to see him host some fucking malarkey award show, a bunch of music that he doesn't listen to. He's probably listening to the Temptations every night and shit. Who does he listen to? Probably goes to bed to Frank Sinatra.
Springsteen, dude. What are you talking about?
I did it my way.
On repeat.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably plays it over and over again. Yeah. The summer winds came blowing in.
Did you see the Phil Hartman documentary?
No.
That was interesting. I didn't know a lot of it. Yeah. They really, you're in it a little bit. I didn't know a lot of things. One thing I didn't know is how they gave you a part in the show where it was supposed to be Phil's character writing you or something like that, like a will or something, and they gave it to each person of the cast, and they didn't let you read it beforehand, so that when you were reading it in the show, it was actually your first time reading like this letter that was supposed to be from Phil.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. That was amazing.
Yeah. That was one of the weirdest moments of my life. Getting phone calls that he was dead. The phone just kept ringing. People just kept calling, and friends and loved ones and family members, and it didn't seem real. Like, who would kill that guy? He was the nicest guy. I wish you had met him.
Yeah, me too.
He was so cool. Like, fucking everybody liked that guy. And he used to like to get high and go to strip clubs.
Yeah.
He used to like to get high and go to strip clubs, get high and ride around in his boat. I went to a strip club with him.
Wow. Do you remember which one?
I think it was Bob's Classy Lady. I think that's what it was called. I don't think it's around anymore. But he had an appreciation for these young ladies that was like, it was almost childlike. But it wasn't creepy. He was like, God, you're beautiful. You look amazing. Because he was high. He was like, you look amazing. This is incredible. Like, he was having a good time. He was a really, really unique character. I remember there was a guy who was, some guy was blackmailing him. And some guy had filmed him at a strip club with his wife. And his wife was getting a lap dance. And he was getting a lap dance too. And the guy was like, he wrote some really creepy letter saying that this was going to violate the policies. Because, Phil had endorsements and commercial deals and he was doing movies and stuff like that. He was just blowing up. Got a Ferrari, he was blowing up. And this guy had went to his house and nailed this VHS tape in an envelope to his garage door. And I was with him on a phone call. So Phil's like, I'm going to talk to him right now. I'm going to come in my room. So I went in his dressing room, and the guy calls me. He's like, hey, what's going on, buddy? He was talking to the guy like the guy was his friend. And they were setting the guy up. And, Phil was going to give him like, I forget what the money was, tens of thousands of dollars. Meet me at this place, and I'll meet you there. And he had these, for lack of a better term, he had someone who's a dangerous person meet this guy and let him know in no uncertain terms that his life was going to take a terrible turn for the worst if he continued down this path. But it was weird to see, like, someone trying to exploit him. And the guy was so dumb, he actually met with Phil. Like, Phil knew who the guy was. Like, he saw his face, you know, he was there with the guy. And the guy was like, look, you know, I just need some money. And Phil's like, look, I get it. It's no big deal, you know. It's weird when you see someone trying to, like, prey on, like, they think that's their way out. Like, this is my way out. I'm just going to get this guy to give me some money, and then I'm going to put it all together. You get it, Phil. I mean, I just need some money. And he's like, I get it, buddy. No big deal. But he was just playing this guy along until the dangerous men came and talked to him.
Wow. They also really focused a lot on the wife, which I didn't really know much about how she wanted to be an actress also. And like she was trying to get Phil to like put her into shows and do that, you know, and stuff like that. And
she was very resentful of him.
Yeah.
She would insult him publicly. Like, it was just really gross. It was sad. But he didn't think he should get divorced because he felt like it was bad for his image. He was like really concerned about his image because he was like this squeaky clean family guy who was, you know, I mean, it was really starting to take off for him. See, Phil didn't really make it until he was older in life. Like, I don't think he got on Saturday Night Live until he was in his like late 30s. Might have been older than that. Yeah. And when he was on news radio, I think he was like 46. Yeah. He was like, he had worked as a graphic artist. You know, did you see that album cover that's out there pinned to the wall?
Yeah.
That's him. He drew that.
Yeah. He's drawn a few amazing things. I was very surprised about that.
He's a super versatile guy. He could do a lot of different things. And his work ethic was amazing. Like, he would have a binder, and his scenes, he would have different color tabs for each scene. And he would go over his notes and go over his lines like I'd never seen anybody do before. Like, none of us did. None of the rest of us did. Like, the only one who's like him, like Stephen Root was even more different than him because Stephen Root was a character. Like, he played Jimmy James. And he, in real life, is like the sweetest, most normal guy. But when he was playing that character, like, he would become this Jimmy James guy. You'd be like, oh. He was spooky. Like, you've seen him in a million, like, what is the movie?
Milton.
Stapler. Yeah.
What
is that movie?
Office Space.
Office Space.
Yeah.
I'm upload it, please, dude.
He was great in that new Western, too. What is it? The Ballad of Scruggs, Buster Scruggs? What is it called? Yeah. It's a Coen Brothers thing, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really weird. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's very weird. It's really good. But it's like, whoa, all right. It's just weird, you know? But Stephen Root is in it. It's amazing. He's just a real actor, you know?
Amazing.
One of those dudes. I would never do a sitcom again, ever. But I'm so glad I did do it. Like, I learned a lot. And it was a great experience. Did you see Andy Dick got arrested again?
Yeah.
Even if you and Tommy weren't like buddy cops, you wouldn't do that? Going around shooting people with guns?
I'd do a sketch.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares about TV anymore, right? Like, it's like anything. I don't watch any TV shows except for the South Parks and the cartoons and stuff. But there's not like a sitcom I give a fuck about, you know.
They don't really exist anymore.
Yeah. I caught up on Mexican Joker last night.
It's great, right?
Yeah. I was trying to catch up because I saw they have a new one tonight.
Oh, yeah.
They got controversy with China for.
Those are the guys that still to this day I look forward to watching every week.
They go hard in the paint.
Did you see the response that Trey did to China?
No.
Jamie, did you see it? So yeah, Trey did an official response to China of them, and that's what. Yeah, after
well,
they got
explain to everybody what happened.
So they had South Park had an episode that kind of mimicked or made fun of the NBA's response or the president of the NBA's response to China that was in the news recently, and it's about how Hollywood edits their films. Like Iron Man 3 has a whole 12-minute scene that they added just for the Chinese release. Because they like make things to make China happy so they can make more money because there's so many millions of people in China.
What did they add?
It was a scene of an Asian doctor in, like, I think they were taking out the thing in his chest and saving his life or something like that.
So they added a Chinese doctor that did it?
Yeah, they added Asians to it, and I think they cut.
Really?
But this happens a lot in Hollywood, I guess. They edit for like a Chinese version where they even add stuff to it and make it more Chinese happy. And so so Trey Parker and Matt Stone made this whole episode about that. And of course, they got banned from China. China scrubbed the whole internet free of everything.
Official apology to China from Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Like the NBA, we welcome the Chinese censors into our homes and into our hearts. We too love money more than freedom and democracy. How do you say XI?
G, I think.
G doesn't look just like Winnie the Pooh at all. Tune into our 300th episode this Wednesday at 10. Long live the great Communist Party of China. May this autumn's sorghum harvest be bountiful. We good now, China? Oh my God, he's the best. He's the best.
They are the best.
They are the best.
I love them.
They're the best. We too love money. Say that. Put it the exact quote again. What did it say? We too love money more than freedom and democracy.
I like how he said also, G doesn't look just like Winnie the Pooh at all. I like,
Yeah.
just adding that just.
Oh my God. 300th episode.
I love it.
That's hilarious. We welcome the Chinese censors into our homes and into our hearts, like the NBA. Well, the NBA thing is a weird one, right? Like the guy, like he's like super social justice warrior-y. He's always criticizing this and that. When it came to China, he's like, "Huh, everything's really good over there."
Oh,
Yeah.
the commissioner of the NBA.
Yeah, what did he say?
Yeah, I don't know what he said necessarily.
He definitely soft pedaled.
Yeah, he's flowing over there now to like have a meeting about it.
Yeah, and there's a chance even that I heard that he could even get fired from this, because that's how much money that NBA as a company is going to be losing from
China?
China.
Now, what is the big deal about China? They just like basketball? Or is it just a giant market?
Just so many people.
Yeah, they've got them hook line on basketball since like Yao Ming back in the 15 years ago got in there.
What about Linsanity? Is that still going on?
He got popular. He signed to play over there this year, actually.
What happened with him? He took off. He was kicking ass for like a very short period of time.
He had a very good NBA career. He just won an NBA title with the Toronto Raptors.
But how come people stopped talking about him?
It was a hype train that happened, and he like had a very good run of like 10, 12 games. He was in New York with the New York media train, the Knicks. They weren't very good. They're still not very good now, but that it all got wrapped up in all that kind of.
Oh, okay.
And then he got sent off to another team, and once you're in a small market, everyone kind of forgets about you.
The whole China thing is very strange, man. We got hit up by someone from Huawei who wants to come on the podcast. Yeah. I'm like, no thanks. I'm
Huawei.
good. Yeah.
Oh, the phones?
Drop a couple phones off for us?
Yeah. Drop some phones off that
Jesus.
listen to everything you do, follow you home.
That shit's really interesting.
That'd be like one of those phones you leave at work and you wake up in the morning, it's sitting on your sink. Hey, the fuck? What's going on
Throw
here?
that away.
Hey, man. That'd be like a Black Mirror episode. Those Huawei phones are fucking badass, though. That's the thing. It's like, look,
They're not as good as this shit.
No. Here's the deal, okay? I gave a thorough examination. I went from the iPhone 10s Max, whatever the fuck the last one was, and then I got a Note 10, and then I got the new one, the iPhone 11X Max Pro, fuck your mother, whatever it is. The Note can't fuck with it at all.
Right.
The Note's just not as good.
It's clumsy.
They're not as good. They're clunky. Their keyboard sucks.
Worst keyboard ever made. I don't understand why people don't bitch about that more. And you could add those other keyboards, but they're a little bit better. But not Apple just got the keyboard down.
It's like you don't realize how much better Apple's keyboards are until you try. And this is only on their phones. Their laptops are dog shit.
Wow.
The laptops keyboards are so bad. I got a 15-inch one. There's companies that take the old ones, the old 15-inch ones from like 2012, and they put a SSD card in it, or put a solid-state hard drive in it, and update the processor and update the graphics. They update everything, and they give you like 1 terabyte of storage. But they basically put all modern internal components into the old shell, so you get the real keyboard, a keyboard that you can actually feel the keys. You actually feel where they are, and you feel them moving around. The new keys, those flat fucking keys, are just so bad.
You're going to hate the future of MacBook Pros, so you might as well just switch
Why do
over
you say
right now.
that?
Because the definitely is going to become a screen on the bottom as a keyboard.
What?
Yeah, they're definitely going to use with the whatever feedback or the
Haptic feedback?
Yeah, so it feels like you're tapping on the screen, but you're actually just going to have a whole screen in the bottom.
They pulled that pressure sensitive off the new iPhones.
Yeah.
So it's just long press now.
I
but it's
hate
not
that.
press in because no one used it.
Yeah, nobody used it.
3D press
used
or whatever
it.
it was
I used
called,
it,
yeah.
Did
I'm
you?
one of the few
No,
people
not a lot
because
of
there's
people.
one thing that they haven't replaced yet. Like a lot of the other things you hold down, it does all what it used to do. But I don't know if a lot of people didn't even know about it. But when you're on the keyboard and you just like hold your thumb down, you used to be able to use it as like a mouse, like a cursor. So if you're trying to be
But you can still
accurate,
do
You can do
that
that.
with the space bar.
You can still do it now.
You
Just
hold
with
the
the keyboard.
space bar down.
okay, never mind.
Or just with the thing. Yeah.
It's the space bar. People don't know. Explain that because it's pretty dope. The
God.
space bar, when you hold the space bar down, you can move that cursor around anywhere you want.
Yeah, so
It's really nice.
Yeah, when you're typing or anything like that,
Yeah.
it's like having a mouse and a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. That was one. I was so bummed about that. That was what really pissing me off.
Well, they do a lot of things that you don't know what they do. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know how to make a screenshot or how to do screen record. There's like a lot of things that people don't know how to do.
Yeah.
That it's. I mean, it's a really complicated device, and most people only use like 3/10 of what it's capable of. But they're so much better than Android phones right now. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Huawei has a better keyboard, but the Samsung keyboard, in comparison to Apple, there's no competition. There's so much. They're so less accurate, and their prediction of like what you're going to say next is so bad. It just doesn't work good.
The Note's camera was very good. The
very
Note
good.
10's, I like
Yeah.
the camera a lot. I like the focus video you could do. You
Yeah.
could pretty much do the portrait mode, but in video mode, which you can't do on the iPhone, which
Yeah,
sucks.
that's better. That's
Yeah.
one thing that the Note does better. That pen, I never use that thing.
Yeah, me neither.
It's cute. I like having it around. I like showing people, look, you can take a picture with it. You press the button. It works like a remote control. Never used it once.
Yeah.
Did you see the new Essential phone that got leaked yesterday?
Now,
What
I
is
like
that?
this. I think I've talked about this before, how I wouldn't mind a thinner, skinner, longer phone.
This
Skinner?
is just leaked, so we don't know.
Slept walked.
What is that? It looks like a remote control.
Yeah,
That's the phone?
It's Essential Phone 2.
Can you show the video of it? Because there's a video of it that's really cool when he's like scrolling through
Maybe that.
he's scrolling through the operating system. One of the videos.
Yeah, it's a new Android operating system they have put on the phone. I don't know if it's going to have like things removed from it.
So is it their own thing?
I think it's a proprietary for them.
Is that a camera?
On the
Yeah,
back.
the back
That's
is
a
camera.
huge fucking camera. That's going to be like one of the best cameras ever. If
Well, it's a really small phone. So like if that iPhone camera was on something so thin, that would look huge too. And it's a very thin thing. It's like not even it seems like it's almost half the size width-wise of your iPhone. But why would you want that? I don't get that.
Different. Just everyone. I mean,
I tell you why.
options are good.
hand cramping.
Hand cramp.
Yeah, like how wide the phone is. Like I'm constantly like trying to
small
lean
it is.
over.
That's so
Like
weird.
or an Apple TV remote size. It looks like.
Yeah, it's exactly what it looks like.
I like that.
Do you?
I really do.
Well, I'll tell you what though. Was it Dan Aykroyd? Who had the old iPhone in here the other day? Oh, Commander Fravor. David Fravor had an iPhone 4. When them with the flat sides.
The metal.
Yeah, the metal sides. It's so small. Like he was showing me pictures on it. I was like squinting to see the picture. They're so little, but it's so tiny. Just like fits in your hand.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
what I like. Because my hand's sore. It hurts. Like I bet it's at night. Like it feels like I've been typing all day, or stretching it out.
Is it really that big of a deal?
My
use
hands are
two
way
hands.
smaller than yours, though.
Yeah, but if you just got a smaller iPhone, just get the small one.
Like, I could barely reach over.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
halfway.
it's pretty big. But when you're watching YouTube videos, it's the shit. I'll tell you what, that is one thing that I have a hard time getting all the way over there too.
You guys said the Max, right? The big one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My girlfriend has
You
the
have the
smaller
other
one.
one?
I have the smaller one.
I like that better. My girlfriend has that
Yeah.
size, and
that might be the move.
Touch it.
because it used to be a bigger deal. Like there was like a camera stabilization for going to the small to the bigger one.
Do we have any pop sockets here? We have the Jerry pop sockets. Give me one of them
Nikki
things.
Glaser stole it.
Did she? That
Well,
bitch.
I gave it to her. I thought there were more of them
Well,
around.
then that's not stealing,
I
Jamie.
know. I know. I mean,
Sorry, Nikki.
She took it with some weed.
Oh. We gave her about 5 pounds of weed. I hope she didn't try to fly back with that. Imagine if she got arrested.
She has a new special, right?
Yes, it's out right now. It's hilarious.
Dude, that's why I let her take one.
That lady's fucking funny.
She's great.
She's very funny. But pop sockets, my point was, if you have a pop socket, that's way easier. You could text like a motherfucker with a pop socket. Just slide that bitch right in there like that. Pop, 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 pop.
My new favorite thing, Joe, is Apple Watch now allows you to record voice memos on your watch. So when you're doing
On
stand-up,
stage?
it's right there. So it's a perfect recording because it's right next to your mouth. One thing though is to turn your phone on airplane mode before you do it, because then it sometimes switches to the phone mic.
Oh.
But what I do is I put them both on airplane mode. So then I have audience and then voice right next to it. So if I wanted to mix it, I would have almost a perfect sounding stage recording.
So it's 2 separate recordings of
Yeah.
the same show?
Yeah. So if you keep your phone on the stool, you're recording the audience, and then you have your voice right next.
Do you
to
have to sync them up?
Yeah. You just whatever garage band or whatever.
Okay. Wow. That actually sounds badass.
Yeah.
That actually makes sense. Like a real reason to have an iPhone watch.
Yeah. I like it. Also, you can monitor your sleep now. You wear it, or I guess it's coming soon, but you could wear it and it tells how many times you wake up, and it tells your heart rates and stuff like that.
I already have that with this thing. I have this Whoop strap. This thing is amazing. Cool. This thing, it doesn't just measure that. It measures heart rate variability. It measures all the disturbances, how much REM sleep you had, how deep your sleep was. It also measures, because of heart rate variability, it measures how much you've recovered from your workout, measures how many calories you burned. I mean, the application that comes with it, this Whoop application, is fucking incredible. It's got, I mean, it takes a long time to learn all this shit, but there's so much data that you get off of these things. And it gives you like these little things to fill out, little questionnaires that let you know, like, here, my recovery today is only 16%, but I just got done running though.
Oh, so it's not a watch at all. It's just a strap.
No, it's just a strap.
Oh, I like that.
It doesn't tell you the time at all. It has no readout on it, nothing. You just keep it on you.
Oh, that's badass. Because it looks cool too.
Yeah, and it measures all your shit. It measures your recovery, your strain. It's got a sleep coach. And so here with Sober October, we're all wearing them. So we all get to see.
Oh, that's badass.
Like, today, Bert burnt the most. Well, how is he number one when he burnt 1,700 calories and I burnt 1,800?
Is it alphabetical order?
No. It says 12
Ari would
point.
be up top.
His day strain is 12.2. Mine's 12.1. Even though my activity was harder than his.
Oh, look at this. It's on the internet. They have a
Yeah.
website, soberoctober.com.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you
Wow.
can track it and watch
No
it.
shit.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of this strap. This thing is really, really effective. It's pretty fucking amazing.
Maybe Ari's wearing Bert's strap for him because
No.
he felt bad.
No, Bert's not even talking to Ari. They're not talking.
Oh, that's
right
just
now.
for recovery. It put that. Yeah, it depends on what you're looking at, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different metrics that you can
sleep.
read. You can look, so you can read your strain, your recovery. You can read your performance, like how many calories you're burning, how much you've recovered, how efficient your body is. It just lets you know where you stand physically. It also lets you know whether or not you should push it or whether or not you should slack off.
Look, worse
It's fucking-
sleep.
Like, look at all that shit, man. It's incredible.
Worse sleep, Bert.
Oh, of course. Yeah, he's haunted by Ari. The memories of Ari drugging him, keeping him awake at night. Fucking Ari.
I was going to say on the iPhone, something I didn't notice that you were getting close to was that they added in the health app your headphone audio levels. So it tracks how loud you're listening to stuff over time. And it tells you when you're in a good or bad audio listening range. Like if you're listening to shit too loud, you're starting to damage your hearing.
Whoa.
So this then gets into the Apple Watch.
Yeah.
If you turn it on your watch, it listens to the ambient sound. So if you're in an environment like in a city where it's too loud, it adds that into your audio health.
It gives you warnings also. Because one thing I've been doing lately at the Comedy Store, when you know the back place where you smoke the weed, you can download a audio meter that tells you how loud it is. And so I downloaded that a long time ago. It is so bad back there when there's a lot of people back there that it's like emergency, get out of that area.
bar.
It's bad for your eyes or ears.
It's like a bar.
Yeah, I know, but it's way higher.
Well, yeah, you got a bunch of comics back there
And
drunk.
it echoes off the...
Oh, that's true too, right? The concrete and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I would say though, allowing them to listen to all these microphones you're just giving them access to listen to you everywhere now.
What are they gonna listen to you? Shit,
Yeah,
fuck.
I mean,
what are they
what am I
gonna
No,
robbing
but that's
the
where
bank?
like that's
plotting? Yeah, you're plotting against the government, Jamie.
No, it's not that.
what are you worried
There's
about?
these. There's an article that went around
No,
this
he's right,
recently about this stuff called like a mesh network that's created with some of these like
Yep.
cameras on people's doors. There's like a test that happened in the LA basin. 700 cameras gave them access to almost the entire LA area
Whoa.
because of the way that they link to each other. And there's like some like watchdog people are saying that like even if you're smart enough to like not do this, the person next to you might not be, or your neighbor might not be. They might have it on, and just because your proximity is close enough, your iPhone knows that your iPhone's next to it, and it just goes, "Oh yeah, you were here. Joe was there."
Yeah, you
That kind of
can't.
stuff.
It's going to be really hard to
Yeah.
pull shit off in the
Yeah.
future. And it seems like with all these Nest phones and Ring phones or not Ring phones, Ring cameras and Net cameras,
Yeah.
Nest cameras that people have on their front doors. After a while, it's everywhere you go, you're going to be filmed.
They passed a law, I think, today that the California like body cameras that cops use can't be used for facial recognition.
Yep.
Like the ACLU got a law passed through that said like that won't be able to happen or something like that.
Too bad. We would have caught a lot more people.
That seems weird because that seems like when you would want to use it. It's when you're a cop looking for bad guys. It's like
Yeah, but I think what's happening right now that I've been reading is like there's third-party companies are getting access to that stuff, and like they can buy it, and that's where some of the discrepancy because it's just happening too fast. There aren't laws in place to stop some of these things from happening. I just think that's just like there's lots of gray area that people can maneuver in.
it seems to be
Bad people can get
just
out.
a matter of time before you have surveillance everywhere. Everywhere you go. Everywhere. Everything is available to everyone except inside your house. Like people are going to tinfoil up the inside of their bedrooms just to try to keep people out. And then you have the fucking television that probably has a webcam on it. You know?
Yeah.
People are probably watching you fuck, Jamie.
They do watch. They listen to the some TVs have that stuff on to listen to what's going on in your house and what they cross references audio
Alexa
signals.
is, Siri is, all of that is.
Yeah, they're listening to everything. I mean, even contractors who work for Alexa and Apple Pods and all that shit. Or I think Apple's one of the ones. Is that Apple as well? Because Apple's pretty damn strict on privacy, which is kind of interesting. It's one of the reasons why Apple Maps is not very good.
Yeah.
Because they don't collect data on everybody the way Google does. Like the benefit of the Google of the Google data collection is you get like really detailed analytics on everything, and so they know exactly what's going on. That's why something like Waze works so well, because there's so many different people giving up information. You know, it shows you where the slowdowns are and where the cops are, and you know, there's benefits to it. It's super effective, but the drawbacks are you're going down this weird road where these companies are selling your information. I mean, that's what Google is a company that provides you data, they provide you information, but they're also selling your data. They're constantly selling what you're interested in. Like if you ever went, like say, like you're interested in a watch, like I want to get a new watch. Let me look at watches. Every fucking time you go to any website now, those Google ads will be a watch.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like they're just tempting you. Like, come on, Jamie.
I was listening to a podcast about the beginning of the history of the internet. It's called like Mintcast. This was a couple months ago, but he was talking about how like when ARPANET was starting up in the 60s, there were a lot of protests about just even turning it on because people knew that it was going to be a surveillance system, like sort of like what is happening now.
Really?
Yeah.
Even back then?
And the ability, it doesn't work if people aren't using it, kind of. Like it needs to spread and grow, and that personal computing is sort of like tied in and came along the perfect time for this.
Ooh.
To like grow more, and like phones or even the next evolution of it.
Now, but doesn't it make life better? I mean, there's pros and cons, right?
yeah.
And the cons we're all terrified of. But isn't it amazing that you could just Google things?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I said something the other day that I thought was a line in a movie. I was like, is that a line in a movie? And my wife is just Googling it. And she's like, nope. I'm like, well, how crazy is that? You can just find out. Like, in a movie. Like, how many goddamn movies are there? You just type in something in quotes, and it'll say, oh, that was from The Shining. And then bam.
The lyrics for every song are on the internet.
Every song. Every song. It's just the pros, I think, at least right now, outweigh the cons. It's just we all wonder where it's going. That's what's scary. What's scary is the unknown. You know, what's scary is this unknown surveillance state aspect of it all. You know, it's better though. It's like
there are benefits. I've bought some of the ads I've gotten shit for.
I do it all the time.
It's great.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure. Well, John Carmack had an interesting take on that. You know, because Carmack is the guy who created Quake and Doom and all those games, and he was talking about Oculus, and we were talking about technology and people being addicted to their phones. He's like, yes, but it makes your life better. He's like, his take on it was, but people's lives are improved because of this technology. And that this is, you know, like, yes, people do get addicted to be on the screens, but one of the reasons why is because it seems better to them than not being on the screens. Like, there's benefits. It's making their life more enjoyable. I'm like, okay, but I see how you're looking at it that way. But that's, you know, convenient when you're in technology to look at it that way. But the people that look at it like in terms of like human beings and our connection with each other, like how much of it is getting eroded. Because so much, I mean, how many times do you and I, unless we see each other at the store, how many times do we talk on the phone? Like, I called you up the other day, and I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing?
That was like the first phone call of 2019.
I've been doing that to people. I called Santino yesterday. I'm like, I just want to talk on the phone, man. Can we talk on the phone?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's good to talk on the phone. I don't think people talk on the phone enough.
I definitely don't.
Well, we're lucky, too, in that our job, we go out at night, we see each other. We all see our friends. You know, we talk. Like, there's a lot of folks who don't do that. They see each other at work during the day, and then at nighttime, they're sitting at home, watching TV or staring at their phone, and their interaction is severely limited. Like, our business is a social business. Like, we're always out, you know? We're always out and about and talking to people and interacting with people. But I think some folks today, because of this technology, they're socially a bit stunted. And that's what I worry about.
Yeah, I see it 100%. I mean, it's weird that how it's, you know, when texting came out, everyone's like, who's texting? And that's kind of taken over from more people. Like, I know a lot of people that don't answer the phone anymore.
Yeah.
And email addresses, I think that's kind of on the way out. Who emails anymore, unless it's like work or something like that? Like, I mostly text or I mostly message each other.
I saw some girl complaining about people FaceTiming her. And she was like, she goes like, did you FaceTime me for no reason? She goes, that's like just knocking on my door without telling me you're coming over. Don't just FaceTime me. She was angry. Don't be FaceTiming me. People FaceTime people now, though. That's a thing. Like Chappelle's FaceTiming.
Really?
Yeah, he FaceTimes.
That's the new talking with the phone open on speakerphone out in public.
Well, Killer Mike FaceTimes. He FaceTimed me while I was taking a shit.
Yeah, I was watching.
Did you answer?
Yes.
I was watching Santino
He's a man.
live.
I'm a man.
Santino was live on his Instagram, and I popped in, and he tried to make me like join him.
Yeah.
And I was all looking. I just woke up, and I was very haggard, and it was dark, and I was like, no, I'm not joining your shit. My eyes aren't even open. Like, I can't do
Don't
this.
be scared, Jamie.
I look like shit.
Don't be scared of your looks. You're a wonderful looking man. You know how many ugly people would be happy to look like you?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I think you and Joey and my parents are the only ones that I answer phone or FaceTime.
I'm calling people every day now. I call a lot of people. I always call my wife. I hardly ever text her. But I'm trying to call more people. I think it's a move. That's a healthy move. Just, you get a real conversation, a little back and forth, a little laughter, you know, joke around with each other. Texting is just so fucking impersonal. It's so bland, open to interpretation.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you use the voice memo thing that the text messages allows you to use?
No, you know who does that, man? Alex Jones. He'll send me these long, Joe Rogan, what's going on right now with the deep state? What they're trying to do with Trump? He'll send me these long fucking voicemail messages that come in a text message. You know, voice memos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they go away, too. They go away after a few
really?
days.
It's like
I save them every time.
Gadget message. Self-destruct.
They have a saved button.
Yeah. People are into those, though, those little voice memos. I don't know why.
Get to hear the voice.
I guess.
No back and forth.
That's
easier.
true. But my voicemail is always full, so that's a sneaky workaround. I keep my voicemail full. Like, get out of here with that thing.
Yeah. No spoiler alert, but screening phone calls over answering machines popped up in that movie, and that was like a thing that I kind of forgot. You used to be able to do. Be like, hey, no, I'm here. What's up?
Yeah. You would let it go to, hey, what's up, it's Joe? I'm not here right now. Leave a message. You'd probably say something cool. You'd have some cool music, like some White Snake playing in the background.
I get so many scam calls every day now that I spend most of my time just going through my missed call list and then Googling the phone number to see if it's a scam call or not.
Is there a way to block that? Isn't there a robocall blocker?
Well, the
T-Mobile does.
new iPhone thing lets you block numbers that you don't have saved, so that goes straight to voicemail.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's key. Because, you know, if you don't have it saved, then you'll just check the voicemail later or see that they called, you know.
Yeah, I don't check any voicemails.
All my shit's off, though. Like, I have it on, like, silent mode, do not disturb, everything.
Yeah.
So I have to just make sure I check it every, like, 15 minutes or so.
Well, for me, I'm glad I got the note because I wanted to know what the dark side was like. I was like, you know, because I watch a lot of tech videos on phones and stuff like that. And I was like, well, maybe Android has caught up. Maybe it is better. It's not. It's still clunky.
That fucking keyboard.
It's good for watching YouTube. It's good for Googling stuff. It's good for Google Maps. It's really good for Google Maps. Like Google Maps on Android it's native, you know, to Android, so it's actually slightly better than it is for iPhone. But that's it.
They gotta have when you connect it to your car, there's like an Android thing.
Android Play Auto, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Okay.
It's okay, but like a lot of car manufacturers don't even fuck with it. Like
they have their own.
BMW doesn't even fuck with
Yeah.
it. They use Apple CarPlay. And if you have an Android, you can go fuck yourself. They don't care.
My Honda has both, which I thought was cool. So it has the Apple Play and the Android Play.
Yeah, a lot of the aftermarket ones have both. I've never tried Android Auto.
That's one bad thing about Tesla, though, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, he needs to do something because there's no messaging app on the Teslas.
But I think that's better. That way you don't fuck with it while you're driving.
Yeah, but it's nice just to be at least like, hey, you got a text message, you know, or it doesn't have anything.
I guess. I don't know, man. I think it's something. There's something good about not fucking with that at all while you're driving. You know, if you can look at your phone if you want to, it's still there.
Yeah.
But that big ass beautiful screen's worth it.
I like it though when in the Honda you just hit a button and it just reads your text to, and so you're
yeah, like auto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apple CarPlay.
Yeah.
That does that. I have that on my Toyota. But the thing about Tesla is, though, their navigation system is so superior. Like, what I love about it is it works like a phone because it's all connected to the internet. So you could say to it, hey, you know, navigate to Tom's Barbecue. And it'll just bang. And it'll just take you to Tom's Barbecue. And it says, like, would you like to go on autopilot? Like, fuck yeah, I would. You press autopilot. Would you like us to change lanes? Fuck yeah, change lanes, bitch. It'll change lanes for you. I mean, it's so superior in like its application, like the way it. First of all, the screen is enormous, right? So you're looking at the entire grid of the city basically, and you see where you're going a mile away. It's not like sometimes you're looking at like a little screen on a phone, and you're like, "What is this next, or is it the next block? Is it this one or the next one?" With the Tesla, there's no confusion. You know, and then you get it on the front screen on your dashboard. Yeah, you see a part of like what's coming up next.
The zoom is like the closest part. Like, oh, there's the left right there.
Dude, it's so good.
It's so good.
And then driving it, other cars feel stupid, don't they?
Yeah, I tried to drive my Civic the other day, and it sucks. Like, this used to be the coolest car to drive, like fun, and now it just seems so dumb.
They're dumb.
Yeah,
they're dumb.
He's got me. I am Tesla for life because of this.
I don't know enough about all these analysts that are predicting that Tesla's going to be doomed. Like some guy said that Tesla's going to lose 80% of its stock or go away. Like some financial analyst. Like what?
They've been saying that forever.
What are they basing that on?
I've read that stuff too. Like they have competitors that don't want them to do good.
You think that's what it is?
It could be. I don't know. They're doing very good.
Like they're talking about like the new Porsche. I don't know if you saw the new.
Dope.
Yeah, they're dope. But guess what? Try to charge it. Try to go like across the country with that thing. They don't have the supercharger network that Tesla has, and that's everywhere.
Why wouldn't they have the same interface?
Because
the Tesla doesn't know that you have a Tesla, right? It just knows it's electric and it goes into the socket.
Like the charging port thing.
Right?
I don't know how it works.
I think that's a.
Well, the one at the airport is just electric. Like, you ever use the one at the airport?
Yeah, it's
You got to
slow.
put on the little adapter. But who cares? When you're going to the airport, you leave your car parked and you plug it in. You come back, it's fully
Wait,
charged.
There's one in the middle LAX.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Are they open? Like a lot of them open?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
That's a game
Well,
changer.
it's hard to get them sometimes because a lot of people have electric cars now. But I got one the other day. I was at the airport the other day. I
See, everyone
parked.
got mad that you have to pick up your taxis and Ubers now, like in
Yeah.
a satellite
That's-
lot, or take a
Dude, that sucks.
shuttle over there.
Well, they need that for the goddamn Comedy Store. Those dorks always park right in front of the driveway. You can't get in or out, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's out
And
of
they get
control.
mad at you. Like, you're not supposed to be here, stupid.
Yeah, it's out of control. there.
Assholes. But look, at least less people are drunk driving.
The congestion. To fix anything there is a great idea. So I don't know, like, what you complain about them doing anything. At least they're trying. It's
The less
awful.
traffic
It sucks
definitely is
so
great.
bad.
It just sucks.
You mean at LAX?
Yeah, it's just the worst. It's
well,
terrible.
I came home from Italy with my family at 11 o'clock at night, and it was bumper to bumper.
It's the worst at night.
It was so bad. I couldn't believe how many people were at LAX. It's so bad. And then you go to like Salt Lake City, and it's just smooth sailing. You know, you go to a smaller town airport. Like Salt Lake City is a goddamn hidden gem, kids. 5 o'clock at night, 5 o'clock p.m. Tuesday night. Nobody's on the road. It's just smooth sailing. They don't have traffic. Their traffic is non-existent. The Mormons scare everyone away. Like, it's beautiful. The weather's gorgeous. They're surrounded by mountains. But everyone's like, these Mormons. And they get scared off. And they don't move there.
Yeah, I think Salt Lake's great. I mean, the only bad thing is the snow, right?
Whatever.
Did you fart?
No, that was my lips. You get a 4-wheel drive. Just get a truck. You know, and fucking, stay home when it snows.
When Tesla releases their truck,
They are coming out soon.
Yeah.
I sent Elon a picture of a truck, and I said, "Hey man, this looks fucking dope." He's like, "That's not really our truck. Our truck is more." He said, "What it was his words? It's more Blade Runner-esque." That's what he said.
It's more than that
Yeah.
picture? Because the picture that I think you're talking about, the black one, that's already pretty Blade Runner. But that I could tell is fake. Because if he's going to make a truck, he has to have more of a bed space in the back, right?
I think he's trying to make something. Yeah, that's fake.
That's like
but that looks fucking dope, man.
That looks pretty Tron too. I like the lights.
Oh my god, it looks amazing. But I think whatever he's doing is going to look even doper than that. But no one has seen it. He's somehow or another been able to keep it under wraps.
Yeah, that's going to. How many people have trucks, in the United States? That's going to be a game changer. I'm surprised that he hasn't released it yet because.
And it's American.
Yeah.
That's an American product. I mean, all these people that want to, like, it's a weird thing. Like, people are like, yeah, I like fucking engines and Ford and Chevy. Like they think that's American. Well, guess what else is American? Tesla. That's an American invention. It's American. Like, and it's good for the environment. Don't you love the outdoors? Yes, you do. Good. Get a fucking electric car. Drive around in that.
Yeah, it's the best part.
It's going to be interesting to see what it looks like.
Have you got solar at your house yet? You ever try to fuck with the Tesla solar?
We were going to get the Tesla roof panels, but our roof has the wrong pitch for whatever that means.
Oh, direction?
Yeah, so we have another setup, another solar panel thing.
Badass.
Yeah. But I think solar is, in California, it's a silly thing to not have. It's like you can get all your power from the sky.
It should be the law.
Yeah.
Every house has to have it.
Well, I think it's a matter of time. Like Tesla has these solar panels that act as tiles. They look like roof tiles. They look really good. They look like real nice roof tiles. But I think, they didn't have that 10 years ago. And 10 years from now, they'll probably have something even more efficient. The real problem is battery capacity. Like battery capacity is the thing that holds back these electric cars. And they think they're going to be able to fix that too. And they think with new battery technology, you're going to be able to get more mileage and to be able to charge far quicker. That's going to be the real game changer. Because there's a lot of people that like Brendan Schaub, he's like resisting the Tesla. I drive it around. He's like, you driving that again? He gets mad.
Yeah.
Because he's like, why don't you drive one of your muscle cars? I'm like, I love those. But I love this. You got to drive this, man. He's like, I'm not driving it.
It's too quiet.
It doesn't matter. When you drive it once, you're like, holy fuck. When you realize how fast they are, it's like it time travels. It just goes, just cuts the distance between spaces in a way that no other car can do. I've never seen another car that could, and it does that without being obnoxious. Like it doesn't go, blah, blah. It doesn't make some crazy loud noise. It just goes, whoosh.
Elon should definitely have an update where it makes your car speakers match with your acceleration, and so you feel like you're inside like a rumbling car while you're driving down.
They do. They have that with some cars, but people get mad at it. Apparently, the new Corvette pipes fake sound into the car because when they make cars that are turbocharged, when you have forced induction with turbocharged, these turbos, they make the engine sound shitty. Like a naturally aspirated engine is the loudest, most rumbly kind of an engine. And when you have turbochargers, it mutes the sound of the engine because it's all, I don't know why. I guess it's because of all the forced air. They they don't sound as good. So what they've been doing is they've been forcing like fake sound, like BMW does that. Like when you're driving the car and you hear the cool acceleration sound, it's kind of fake.
That's
it's
great.
it's coming in through your speakers, which is really weird.
They're about to release a fart horn also on the Teslas.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That's a great idea.
I saw this video today, and you started mentioning something that triggered. Have you seen this yet?
It says solar, a game changer for technology developed in San Antonio to pull water from humid air.
So this guy, Moses West, he was retired, and it took him 4 years. He developed this machine called a AWG, and I'm trying to find out what that stands for, but it's a big machine that literally makes drinking water from the air at very low cost, he said. Lower cost than groundwater.
Whoa.
He already has them in Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, and Flint. I think he's made 12 of them so far.
I've talked about this with my dad before because I have a humidifier and it does the same thing. I have to empty out the water container out of it a dehumidifier, I'm sorry.
Right.
And it has this big tank that when I use it, I have to like throw it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, that just pulls from the air. And I was like, Dad, why can't you drink it? And he says it's still water. So you can't, you can't drink still water, right? Like it's not
still water.
You know what?
Like pond water kind of shit?
No, like the
puddle water.
What's not still water? The water you can buy.
Oh, distilled
water.
Right. Yeah, that's not good for you. You got to add electrolytes to it. The science behind the technology is simple condensation, the same principle that creates beads of water on the outside of a cold glass of water on a hot, humid day. The warmer and more humid the air outside, the better his machine is able to condense the water in the air, making it rain inside the shipping container-sized device. A spigot and a hose allow people to fill up any container with fresh, potable water. It's like an endless source of water. It's a water generator. That's really cool for places that are humid. I wonder if that would work in LA though, because it's dry as fuck here.
Right.
Like, do they have any water in the air here? They must have some.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I looked on the other day. It's 62% humidity outside. And I was like, that's Ohio levels. Like that's crazy.
Right now it is?
It was just the other day. It must have been
Cloudy
particular
day?
Yeah, I don't know.
So on a regular day, but is it ever 0% humidity?
It's not. No, it's lower, but it's still not. Like I always thought it was 0, but it's not always.
Well, if what he's saying makes sense, right? Like you've always been able to take a glass with ice and a drink, and you get condensation on the outside of it, always.
Right.
So all they would have to do is, if that works on a hot day in LA, they could get water out of the air. That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, this is new as far as I know. It's probably not a brand new technology. He just figured out how to make it viable. But
God, I love smart people.
yeah, dope.
I'm so glad they're real.
Right.
I'm so glad they're out there fixing things. I'm really hoping, and I've talked to many technologists that believe this as well, that technology is going to be the solution for our environmental problems. That they're going to be able to pull carbon out of the air. Is this it right here? That's the machine?
That's him. Yeah, he was the next here. Cuts him like filling it up.
What is this gentleman's name?
Moses West.
Powerful Moses West.
Yeah.
Figured it out. And that's like a truck container. Like it looks like
look at that.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It looks like one of those things on like a caboose on a train. What's a caboose? No.
Yeah.
Cab? Which one's the cargo holder?
I don't know.
What are those? It's like the front's the engine, right?
Yeah.
What's all those ones in the back? What are those called?
The locomotive's the front, right?
What? Yeah, caboose is the bottom.
Look at all that water they're getting out of the fucking air. Texas man plans to take water machine to the Bahamas. Dude, the Bahamas is really depressing. Have you paid attention to the devastation in the Bahamas?
From the hurricane?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Eve Edwards is from the Bahamas. So he went down there and he's helping out. And I looked at some of the video footage of the devastation down there. The Bahamas essentially got wiped out. I mean, they got crushed by that hurricane.
Yeah, the airport was disappeared, just gone.
Yeah, pull up some footage.
You ever been Bahamas?
No, I've never been. Have you?
Yeah.
What's it like?
Very beach. Like, and it was the only place where everyone was trying to sell you drugs everywhere. like I was at Pizza Hut, and the guy goes, "Here's your pizza," and like I went to Pizza Hut for some reason. I don't know why, because I was like, "Oh, I want American poor cheap pizza." And the guy goes, "Here's your pizza. You want to buy any Coke?" And I'm like, "No."
Whoa. Pizza and Coke. I figured if you're the type of guy who gets pizza in the Bahamas,
right,
you're the type of guy who does Coke. Look at what it looks like, man. Fuck. Look at that one on the right, the far right, the big picture. Go large with that. Look at that, man. That's insane. I mean, it essentially wiped out the island. See, when you're in the path of hurricanes on a regular basis like that, and you're stuck there. That's got to be such a helpless feeling. Like, you know, the destruction's coming basically every year.
Well, it wasn't this bad like 10 years ago, right? Like, all these people probably were like, yeah, we had a hurricane once 20 years ago. But now it seems like they're just getting fucked every year.
Well, part of it is because of climate change, the
Right.
Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is a warm ocean, right? That's why we don't get hurricanes out here in the Pacific, is because the water's cold. The pros and the cons. The pros are we don't get hurricanes. The cons are it's cold to swim in. But to me, I'll take that all day. I don't swim in the ocean that much. And hurricanes seem to come every fucking year.
Side benefit of Teslas is that they could drive underwater. Did you see those videos of Teslas like not submerged, but like crazy?
Really?
Because it's airtight. Teslas are airtight because they have the nuclear bomb mode for the air conditioning. You know what I'm talking about? The radiation mode.
Nuclear bomb mode.
So they have the filtration system, at least in the X. I think it's in the S too. Has the it's so airtight that like if the air's quality is bad or whatever, you could do the I forget the name of it. It's not called nuclear bomb mode, but it's the nuclear
like
symbol.
Fallout mode.
Yeah, and it makes it so no air. It's only filtering the air that's inside the cabin, and it's airtight so that like if there's bad gas outside.
How long would it take before you run out of oxygen though?
I don't know.
Right? Because
Yeah,
like
good
there's
question.
only so much air in there. If you just breathe in air and blowing out carbon dioxide, wouldn't it eventually fill up?
Or maybe it's filtering the air because the filters can. It's like wearing a gas mask. Like it's filtering
Really?
new air into it. Yeah. What is it called? Here,
Does that really work like that?
yeah, I think so.
I remember I was watching an episode of Top Gear and they were saying that the air that comes out of a Porsche 911 Turbo is actually cleaner than the air it sucks in downtown LA. So if you drive around a 911 Turbo in LA, the exhaust fumes are actually cleaner than the air it pulls in.
Bioweapon defense mode is what Elon Musk calls it.
Bioweapon defense mode.
It's the advanced air filter systems to the point the automaker has been making incredible claims about it.
Now, how does it filter out carbon monoxide? Like, can it give you a continuous supply of oxygen while the battery's charged?
Let's see.
When those fires were going on, I remember they were like I remember he was tweeting something about like they were like being used as escape vehicles to get people out because they had such good HEPA filters on them. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, having been in those fires myself, it's stunning how weird it gets when you're seeing like fire everywhere, and then the air is just everywhere you go. It's just filled with smoke. The worst I ever saw was one year we were filming Fear Factor, and the entire ride home for more than 50 miles, the whole right side of the highway was on fire.
I thought it was more water than that, but there's
That's a
some
lot
other
of water,
videos.
bro.
And what's so funny? He makes a wave that attacks this reporter. Look, he's like,
That's a weird feature. Because you remember those karmas, those Fisker karmas, they blew up at the dock because the dock got overrun with water and they all started exploding.
yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, they didn't figure that out. It's going to be interesting to see who steps into the electric car world. Like now that Porsche has got this really sweet looking new car that's coming out, but apparently it doesn't have as many miles, doesn't go as many miles as a Tesla,
Right.
and it's not as fast as a Tesla,
Right. There's
which
a
is
few
weird.
things. Yeah.
But that's weird. Like you're Porsche. Like why don't you have a faster car than Tesla? Like how did they do that? Like why would they release a car that's not as fast?
I think they all can agree that Elon's 10 years in the past all the car makers right now. Like,
He's 10 years ahead.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense.
I think Apple's going to have something pretty cool because once, if Apple really does finally release their electric car, that's going to be the iPhone of cars. And
do you think they're really doing that?
I really do. I think Elon even said that they are.
I haven't heard that. I thought
They
that
could
was
buy someone maybe or like put their name on something, but for them to get in the car, it seems pretty tough for Tesla to do it, to make their own cars.
No, I think they're teaming up with like Volkswagen,
okay.
and it's going to be like an Apple car or something like
It
that.
seems like an insane waste of time. Let's just go buy a Tesla. Apple has so much money, though. It's amazing how
could
much
probably
money
buy
that
Tesla.
Yeah, they definitely could.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much money that company has just stored up. They could buy Tesla and just turn them into apples. Easily.
That'd be great.
If Elon wanted to sell. I don't think he wants to sell. I think he wants to prove everybody wrong. When everybody says that the company's going to go out of business, it's going to lose 80% of its market share, and I think but I don't know how he does everything. That's what doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how does he do that and pay attention to the tunnels they're digging under LA and pay attention to SpaceX and pay attention to Solar City? I mean, how the fuck can one guy have so many different irons in the fire?
A lot of assistance, I bet.
I'm sure. But how does he rest? Like, how do you rest when you have that many different things going on? That shit ain't good. Like, when the most busy you've ever been, how many podcasts were you doing?
There was a point where with yours and Death Squad, I was probably doing like 11 a week.
Oh,
I was pretty much only doing podcasts. It ruined all my relationships.
God, dude. God damn. Yeah, see, that is just not wise, right? That's just too much. It's too much to do. When people do that, when they just take on too many different... like I've thought about other stuff, like doing other stuff. I've had offers to do other stuff, and I start thinking about it. Maybe I could find time for that. And then I give myself coaching. Like, I'm like, what would you tell yourself? I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're not doing anything else. Like, you could barely do all the stuff you're doing now. I think for me, too, as I get older, especially like right now in my life, my leisure time is very important to me. Like, it means something. And I don't mean leisure like sit around doing nothing, but like hobbies. Like stuff that I do. Like lately I've been shooting guns.
Yeah, I was jealous, man.
Dude, you should come with us.
I'm thinking about buying a gun.
You should get a gun.
I know.
You want to come with us tomorrow? Wait a minute. What's today?
Wednesday.
I might be going tomorrow. We'll talk afterwards.
Okay.
But I'm going soon.
Cool.
You know, but you should come. It's fun. It's fun. You learn how to shoot
You're
a gun.
doing the tactical stuff. That looks fun. Yeah.
It is fun. You know?
It's like a video game.
But some people get mad. A lot of mad comments.
Why?
Just get mad. They don't want you shooting guns.
Jesus.
Stop it. Stop it. Think of the children. Stop it.
Blanks.
Well, we're not shooting blanks.
I know.
We're shooting real
What if
bullets.
it was?
But it's there's also a game that you can get. We're going to get for this studio. That's it's a real pistol. Like, it looks like a real pistol and has a 6-pound pull, so it feels like a real pistol when you pull the trigger. And it's like that techno hunt thing where you got a laser beam that shoots out, and it even makes a noise like a gun, like bang,
Wow.
bang, bang, and you're shooting zombies.
No way.
Yeah, and it's heavy like a pistol, so you have to hold it like a pistol.
Dope.
Yeah, dude.
That's badass.
That's
Does it keep
next.
score and whatnot?
Oh
Leaderboard?
yeah. It tells you how many civilians you shoot, how many zombies you got. Because sometimes people come running around the corner and it's a zombie, and then there's a civilian behind them. You got to make sure not to shoot.
Are you guys rolling around and shit out there, or are you just standing still in that
We're not in a
area?
movie, bro.
I know, but I don't
Rolling
know how much
around.
fun you guys are having.
No, no,
Set
I
up
don't.
obstacles.
I don't think it's a good idea to have dummies like me roll around with a gun in my hand.
True.
Somebody told me to buy a Glock 19. That was the gun to buy.
It's a great gun.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you should. Before you do anything, you should learn how to shoot.
I've shot before. I've
Yeah?
gone a few times with you. Yeah.
Yeah, for rifles, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But
Yeah.
I've shot in Burbank at the shooting place. Where
Oh,
you
they
could
have a place near you?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
right down
cool.
the street. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun. We should have a JRE shooting range
Round two?
somewhere.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Have a just
we all went before to that thing that
Yeah, we shot all the hard drives.
yes,
Yeah.
that was fun, man. That was fun, wasn't it?
That was.
Rifle shooting is fun, but pistol shooting, when you're holding in your hand, it's way more difficult. It seems to
Is
be,
it more
yeah.
difficult? You think it's more difficult?
More difficult to aim. Yeah, because he gave me a rifle, and I shoot rifles so much, or I have shot them so much. It's easy. You just have trigger discipline. You just don't yank the trigger. Just pull, bang, and let it go off like a surprise shot. And I hit everything I aimed at. And he was like, "Okay, you've shot that before." But like pistols, I've only shot pistols at a range with no instruction. I didn't know what I'm
Right.
doing at all. And once you learn like how to grip it, how to hold it, how to aim, like you don't really hold that hard with your right hand. Most of the pressure's with your left. So, and the grip is it's not intuitive. You have to learn it. It's something that you have to be taught correctly. And there's so many people there that are like, they shoot in competitions. And so when you watch them do it, you're like, oh, wow, Jesus Christ. Like, there's levels to this. Like, there's guys that can pull their gun out and shoot 4 shots inside of a second. Bang, 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 bang. In a second. Draw, pull, shoot. 4 shots inside of a second.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But they're just begging for someone to break in their house. There's people like that out there. There's people like that where you break in their house, you fucked with the wrong person.
Well, Tent City's growing, so I think I need to get one. So.
Just need to move. LA is going to be a giant homeless encampment.
It's really
like,
is.
if you looked at it, the spread, right? If it was a disease, a deadly disease that was killing everybody, and you saw like patient 0, and then it spread to like 2 people, 4 people, 6 people, 10 people. Now LA has more than 60,000 homeless people. And every single underpass that you go to, you see camps now.
Yeah.
It's not like it used to be. It's a totally different animal now.
It's like The Walking Dead, man, where it seems like it's growing. Like Laurel Canyon, when you're going to Laurel Canyon off the 101, it used to be pretty normal. Last night or 2 nights ago, when I went through it, it was like there was no sidewalk anymore. It was like if somebody had to walk on that sidewalk, good luck with you're going through Ewok Village, you know.
Yep, and needles and all kinds of fucked up and human shit. I mean, human shit's all over downtown LA.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people shit lately.
And that's nothing compared to San Francisco. That guy Zuby, who's on our podcast, he did a bunch of posts about his trip to San Francisco. He's like, it is so much worse. He was saying it was so much worse than he thought it was. It's so beyond comprehension how many people are just openly shooting up drugs, shitting in the streets, homeless people everywhere. How do you fix that? And like, if you would think that if there's something that LA needed to fix, out of all the things that LA complains about, the homeless problem is like one of the most insurmountable problems. Like, what do you do to curb that? How do you get these people homes? How do you clean these people up? How do you get them off drugs? How do you get them off the streets? How do you make it not a public nuisance? How do you make it so people aren't scared to go down streets? Because there's certain streets in downtown LA where you see the street. Like, you're at the beginning of the mouth of the street and you're looking down the street like, I'm not walking down there. Like, this is terrible.
They need to open up the mental hospitals again. Whenever they closed them down, in the 70s or the 80s, that's what caused all this. They don't have those anymore.
It definitely was a problem, but it seems like it's gotten way worse, right? Like, think about what it used to be 10 years ago. Now think about what it is now. I mean, this 10 years ago, it was still decades after they closed down the mental institutions. They changed the standards. So what it was they had certain standards where you would be institutionalized, and they changed those standards under the Reagan administration and just sent these people out into the streets. And everybody thought it was like really cruel, because here you're just releasing these people with all these like severe mental health problems and just releasing them out into the street. But that was a long time ago. Something has happened recently. I guess it's the economy. I mean, I don't know what it is, but another thing you're seeing around this area is mobile homes. Like those campers, like Winnebagos, fucking everywhere. People just get enough money to get one of them mobile homes. They just park it on the street, and they live in those things, which is just like a mobile camp, you know. And you get these gypsies that hang out and they cook on the sidewalk and shit. Like, we used to have them here. They were hanging out and sunbathing on the lawn out here. Ugh. And the owner of the building is like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what are you guys doing? This isn't a park. Like, go to the park.
You know what's worse? Sovereign citizens.
What is that?
There's people that don't drive, they travel, and they don't follow the rules. And they like, if you watch Live PD, they have one every episode, two every episode. They'll get pulled over, and it's like they won't even roll down the window, and they're like, "I don't have to follow your rules, sir." They never have driver's license or insurance.
What?
It's like people that don't think taxes apply to them. They don't think the law applies to them.
But that's grown so big recently that it's so many people now that do this shit, and it's the most grossest. Like, if you watch on Live PD, you'll.
What is Live PD?
Live PD is cops nowadays. I think it's way better.
Why is it way better?
Because it's live. It's like 4 hours long, and the hosts
are live, like live in the moment.
Yeah, they're like in 7 different cities. They have a whole control center. Like, all right, we got a speeding going on here. We got there's a chase going on here. Let's go live over here.
It's my favorite, and they also have it in Columbus, Ohio, where they used to, but they just got rid of it.
Yeah,
I didn't even know this was a thing. And so these sovereign citizens, like, what are they saying? They get pulled over and they say, I don't have to listen to you?
Yeah, they pretty much say, like, your rules don't apply, and they'll be like, give me your driver's license. I'm going to take you to jail for just a seatbelt, violation. Give me your license. They won't. Like, I don't need to give you a license, sir. Please. And, like, they have this shit they keep on repeating. And they all go to these websites and they're like reading it on their phone. Sir, I don't have to, do this and that and this. And then they finally have to like break their window and just drag them out and arrest them just for a seatbelt violation.
Some people are smart and do know what they're talking about, though, but other people have just like watched another video and like, oh, I don't have to listen to this guy. I'm a YouTuber.
There's something uniquely satisfying about watching a guy get pulled over by the cops and he knows exactly what his rights are and the cops are fucking up and he calls the cops on different codes and laws and the Constitution, and then he winds up driving off. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
They pull over the DA on accident. They're like,
Oh, did you see
whoops.
Yeah.
Or that,
Shouldn't have done that.
Or that woman, who was it? New York. She was like some kind of high up person that got pulled over, and she starts like yelling at the cops and shit. Like she lost her job the next day.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was ridiculous. She was trying to throw her weight around.
Yeah.
She didn't realize she was on camera.
Being a bitch.
Corruption, man. That's corruption. You're a citizen, bitch. You know, everybody needs to realize. There was one where a judge got pulled over and they let him slide, but he got in trouble afterwards as well because it's on camera. You know, and then someone finds that video and it's like, hey, man, you are a citizen. You're like us. Like if you're speeding or something like that and they pull you over, you can't get out and act like you own these cops. I mean, you got to give your fucking driver's license up. You gotta show them your identification. If you're doing something that's an infraction or a violation, that's the whole reason why we have cops. Do you want everybody just driving 150 miles an hour with no ID and masks on? No. So you have to have rules. So these are the rules. If you do something that breaks the law, they got to be able to pull you over and give you a fucking ticket and incentivize you to drive correctly, and also find out if maybe you're running from the cops. You know, so they pull you over, they get your ID, they go, oh, hey, man, you got a murder warrant out for you, so please step out of the car with your hands up. I mean, this is the whole reason why we have cops in the first place. Then these people that think they don't have to pay taxes and the laws don't apply to them, it's all unconstitutional. Good luck with that case. Good luck with that. Ask Wesley Snipes how that worked out.
Yeah.
It's shit. They put Wesley in fucking jail for a long time. Lauryn Hill, too, from the goddamn Fugees. They put her in a cage for like a year, right? How long did she go to jail for? And it was a taxes thing too, man. They get these wacky, whether it's an attorney or a tax professional or some wacky advisor tells them they don't have to pay taxes. And they read some internet thing. It says, actually, it's unconstitutional. It's only supposed to apply during wartime. Like, listen, pay your fucking taxes, okay? You can protest all you want. You think it's unjust. That's good. They will put you in a fucking jail. And if you're a famous person that's trying to pull that off, especially a famous rich person, look, it's not good, but it is what it is. They're going to make an example of you.
Yeah.
How long did she go to jail for?
3 months?
That's it? She only went to jail for 3 months?
Can't tell. Says she was released from a federal prison, women's low security all-female facility.
Just the fact they put her in a fucking cage is crazy. Like, is she a danger to the public? Like, what is going on here? She owes you money? How come that's the one money that you can't just pay back? You know? You can't just pay it back. How come I can't just pay it back? Nope, not good enough.
Yeah, you still have to pay it back and go.
Yeah. And yet they take away your ability to earn a living for a long time. Like, Wesley Snipes, how long was he in jail for? He was in jail for like a solid year. A whole year behind bars. Put a halt to his career, and all because he owed some taxes because he had some wacky dude that was telling him he didn't have to pay taxes. How long?
He had a 3-year sentence.
3 years. Imagine that, man.
How much of it
Because of money. They lock you in a goddamn cage. It's not like he stole money. It's not like he held up a bank. It's not like he was a violent person that was a danger to society. No, he owed some taxes.
He made money.
Yeah.
And they're taking his money.
Yeah. He made money, but he didn't give his share up to the government. So the government decided to lock him in a cage to punish him and to make a statement to everybody else.
It's also like you pay taxes, you get taxed on your paycheck, and then you get sales tax. You're getting taxed how many times,
Getting taxed a lot.
Like 10 times.
Well, then that's why places like Nevada people like, because in Nevada you don't have to pay state taxes, so you can save a lot of money. Florida, same thing. Like, I know a dude who moved to Florida because he was going to sell his business. So he's like, look, I'm going to move to Florida and establish residence in Florida for a few years and then sell my business. So I'm a Florida resident, and then I don't have to pay nearly as much money. It can save, if you own a big business, it can save you a ton of money. It's just weird that it's different everywhere you go, Like, some places just don't have state tax. You don't have to pay.
Yeah.
Montana has different taxes. Colorado has different taxes. Everybody's got like a different setup, different amount that you have to pay for this and that.
There's a weird thing that like a lot of the big corporations have their headquarters in Delaware for some reason. It's like some weird tax law for that. Yeah.
A nice little tax haven.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, isn't that why the Juice moved to Florida? Didn't OJ move to Florida because they couldn't take his pension that way?
Well, he owes money based off the lawsuit,
Right.
For the civil suit, yeah,
But he has a pension.
right from the NFL.
Yeah,
that they
so
can't take or something.
right, they
yeah.
can't fuck with that pension. Dude, I got to tell you, watching him on Twitter every
golf.
day is one of the
Bravo.
strangest thing. And him talking about football. So there's certain things like if you're a guy who went to jail for embezzlement and you got out, but you're a football fan and you still talk about football. Okay, you're just talking about football. But if you're a double homicide guy, you killed 2 people with a knife, and then you got away with it, but everybody knows you did it, and then you're talking about football. Hey, Twitter world, what is he saying?
Run your studs. He's just
Run
talking
your
about fantasy
studs.
football all the time.
Let me hear some of this. Go from the beginning.
Well, the 5th week is in the can, and some things are beginning to reveal themselves. One, the Dallas Cowboys may not be who we thought they were. The Buffalo Bills' defense is for real. They are great. Teddy Bridgewater's more than a seat holder. If and when the time that Drew Brees decide to move on, which
That's
It's
it.
just so strange.
What if you just give an MMA like picks? Because
right? What if somebody gets out?
Stylebender was great this weekend.
Yeah, well, that would be weird.
Hey,
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously he was a great football player in his day. So it kind of makes sense that he's talking about football, but it is strange. And then if you look in the comments, it's all knife emojis. And you really cut me up with that one, Juice.
His choice of words sometimes almost make me feel like that he's doing some shit on purpose, though. Like,
I don't think so, man.
Have
I
you
think it's
ever-
psychology? Look at that.
South Park.
South Park. Covered in jizz. It's so strange.
just grabbing knives.
Yeah. I mean,
Man,
it's like you're never getting away from that. That's not-
700 replies.
it's never going to go away, right? I mean, that's who he is. At least now he's wearing sunglasses in every pic. It's so strange, though. Every video. Hey, look at him.
He had sunglasses inside, took
Yeah.
them off.
He's got his glasses. Those are reading glasses.
Okay.
He's got them in his hand, but it's all like jovial football talk. It's so strange. It's just what a weird time we're at, where a guy is a murderer, and he's
Allegedly.
on Twitter. Yeah, allegedly, he's on Twitter, and just talking about football. Like, what do you think he gets out of that? Like, why do you think he thinks that's a good idea? Does he just miss attention? Does like
I don't think he has anything going for him. He has to do that to promote like book signings. I bet he signs at
Do you
malls.
think
and
he
shit.
goes to signings?
I bet he does that shit at the mall in Vegas. Like,
I
bet he makes.
don't know
does
what
that
the fuck
crap.
he does. Like, what does OJ do for money?
Pete Rose type
He
shit.
just gets that pension, right?
Yeah, there could. He might be honest. He might be trying to build his Twitter account to a point where he could use it for that.
How many people do you have
He's almost
on it
up
right
to a
now?
million.
Wow,
So 916,000.
great.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where it's kind of an oddity, right? It's like an attraction.
He's going to be boxing Screech any day now.
He's really old, and he doesn't move that good, but he's got killer instinct.
I liked him on Naked Gun.
Look, he's, before the murders, he was a beloved person. It's just it's such an unusual, like, society today is so strange across the board. Like, look at us. We're wearing NASA costumes. Millions of people are watching. Like, what are we doing? But what's the matter?
According to this TMZ or Bleacher Report or TMZ article, I guess it says that what he originally owed to the Goldman family due to 22 years of interest is over $100 million now. So,
And they can't make him pay, huh?
well, that's like why I guess he can't really work because they just take all of that money.
So
Any autograph signings he does probably would get
they take all the money.
stolen right away.
So how does he live? He has to have like a certain allowance.
Guess that NFL pension, or he has a friend who gives him money.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know.
Probably has like a. Well, no, how would he do that?
Like, what would he do with his Twitter? The strange thing is, like, do you think that this is a calculated effort to try to start a social media business, or do you think this is just him just trying to connect with people?
What? Someone has to be in his ear. There's no way he just figured out Twitter. He was
Right.
just bored and was like, "What's this Twitter thing? Let me
He has somebody
Download
pushing him
an app.
to do it for sure.
read an article."
He's got to be the oddest guy on Twitter. Him and John McAfee. That John McAfee
He's
guy.
still running around.
Oh, yeah. He's like halfway trolling people. It's hard to tell what he's doing. Like, what he's doing seems to be like almost like some of it's very theatrical. You remember when we interviewed him when he was on the run? We interviewed him
right.
remotely when he was on the run for murder, and he was saying that it was all nonsense. And when I was asking him about meth, like, how much meth are you really smoking meth? Like, I read an article that showed that you had a meth lab that you built in your backyard. And he's like, that was all fiction. Remember?
Yeah.
He was like, that was a prank. I was trolling people.
I believe that.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't.
He's old school. He's an old school
I
troll.
think he was cooking it. I think he was straight up Breaking Bad in his backyard. Where was he, in Belize? Like, where was
Somewhere
he?
really
Something
weird.
like that. But someplace where it all went sideways on him, right? Didn't his neighbor wind up getting murdered? That's why he was on the run,
That's
right?
right, yeah.
What a
I wonder
character.
what happened to that.
What a character. The guy was a fucking antivirus mogul, you know? I mean, that's McAfee. McAfee antivirus.
Yeah.
He was it was like Norton and McAfee. Those are the two big names in antivirus.
I wonder what Norton's up to right now.
He's probably hanging out in McAfee's old place in Belize, smoking his leftover meth. Those dudes who fucking escape society and go and move to some small island and get some little native girlfriends. That's a weird move, right?
That's a great move.
Do you think you'd ever see yourself doing that?
Hell yes.
You could podcast from an island somewhere.
As soon as that's possible, being hologram style anywhere, that's when it, like you could have somebody on as a guest as a podcast, but in hologram form.
Well, listen, if we decided to set up a studio like on an island somewhere and do the podcast from an island somewhere, and we'd have to fly some guests in, right? Like, say if there's a few of us, we just talk shit about the news, all the things that are going down, the Trump impeachment, this and that. We all did it from an island somewhere, and occasionally we fly people in. Say if you do it on Lanai, right? You everybody flies in the Four Seasons, stay in a nice place.
Has to be somewhere where there's no hurricanes though. So
They don't get too many hurricanes out
Catalina
there.
Island.
It sounds like what Jeffrey Epstein pitched to get people on his plane to come out to his island.
it does.
Yeah, come on now. We're just having a conversation
Yeah, but we're
on
not
the
banging.
island.
But we're
and-
not banging any kids.
Yeah,
we're just trying to
nobody is.
relax.
He's still alive anyway, so we can just go to his island.
Do you think he's still alive?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah. He's on that island.
How funny is it that people just stop talking about the fact that guy got whacked?
Yeah.
For sure, they whacked that guy. I mean, out of all the things that I'm sure about that I don't know, and this is one that I'm most sure. I'm most sure they murdered that guy. He knew so much from so many different people, and all the things that went wrong. Even Michael Shermer, who is like a professional skeptic who doesn't believe in anything. He found out that the cameras were broken and they weren't working on the day the guy got offed. He's like, oh, maybe this is a conspiracy. You think? You think the guy... Clinton flew to his fucking island 26 times. He flew with Epstein. Well, I don't know if he flew to his island, but he flew on Epstein's jet 26 different times.
They held El Chapo there for quite a long time, and nothing happened to him.
What?
At that same facility.
Oh, did
in
they
Manhattan.
really?
Yeah, like no one had died there for like 26 years or something like that since the 90s.
they
That's what I heard.
They whacked that guy. The most hilarious thing is, did you ever see who his cellmate was?
No.
His cellmate was a fucking gorilla.
Really?
Like the biggest guy you could ever imagine being in your cell. Like the guy looked like like if you were going to have a movie about the worst possible cellmate you could ever have, it would be this guy. Look at this guy. Look at the fucking size of the guy.
I'm so glad he's white.
And he's a former cop. A former cop built like a brick shithouse. I mean, he's enormous. What is that guy's name?
Nicholas Tartaglione or something.
Yeah, he was a bad cop. The cop went bad. But when you look at the size of him, you're like, come on, man. That's really his
That's what he
cellmate.
looked like before he went in,
Oh, look at that bad dog.
and that's him now.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's fucking huge. A huge, gigantic, muscled up dude was his cellmate. And was he there when he got offed?
No,
He wasn't there.
No.
What a convenience.
he was there the first time, but he committed suicide.
Oh,
Or
the
tried
first
to
time he
commit
tried?
Suicide.
Yeah.
He saved him.
What did this
He saved
ex-cop
him?
do?
Mhm. He killed 4 people on a bad coke deal.
Whoopsies.
They had it coming.
No big deal. Whatever. A bad coke deal. But how funny is that that's his cellmate? Like, what do we got? Well, we got a murderer that's built like a brick shithouse. Let's put him in there with him.
He got some wet cocaine.
He's transferred out the eve of his suicide. Like, hey, Vincent.
And then they had the doctor picture with Ghislaine Maxwell at the In-N-Out in Studio City.
Yeah.
It was just like, well, they put that out, disappeared,
Right.
made the news, doctored, photoshopped for some reason.
Where's that lady?
No one knows. They didn't even know where she was at the time. And then that picture came out. They thought she was in Boston or something.
Out of
Martha's
all
Vineyard. I don't
the
know.
high-profile cases, out of all of them, that's got to be the most strange, right? This guy has an island. On the island, he has a building that's colored in it's painted in the colors of the Israeli flag. They think he's a Mossad agent. He's some sort of intelligence agent. The reporter that said that he was released earlier was given a sweet deal because he was intelligence. That's not been verified, right?
Right. That came from one article, that Vanity Fair thing,
Right.
piece on him that got repeated a lot, but I don't know that
We don't
came
know
from
if it's
anywhere other than
substantiated.
that.
Right. Jesus, the whole thing though, Jesus Christ, what a crazy story. This is the strangest time because every day there's new things coming at you so hard and fast. You can't keep up with it.
Yeah, this was his drone. There was someone flying a drone over his island. They stopped 3 weeks ago, I guess, but for almost every day there was updated drone footage for some reason. I don't know how this person was getting it there.
They must have had a boat.
But yeah, he paid something like $50,000 extra to have a cement truck delivered there a couple months before he got arrested.
What?
Like he had a cement truck shipped out to his island, and they think some shit got buried in that tunnel or something. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
So they've been like, they have footage on this island pre-raid and post-raid of the FBI making it there.
Yeah, there was one like last week or 2 weeks ago where they supposedly saw him sitting in a Jeep.
Yeah, they thought so, but it was just like a
That's-
worker from the
yeah.
island.
There's going to be so many stories about this, but we're never going to know. It's going to be one of those things that's like the Kennedy assassination or something, where decades will go by. You'll hear all these crazy different stories. People will write books about it, but you'll never really know exactly what happened.
Hey, we should get
What
this
happens
island.
to this island? Like, what happens to it?
How much do you think an island costs?
It's probably going to be cheap because no one wants to live on
Yeah.
Pedophile Island. So this could be the place, Joe.
Yeah, that could be. I mean,
Oh, bro.
there's helicopter stops there. Right?
Look at that
don't
beautiful
know,
water.
bro. I don't know if that's really smart. It doesn't seem like a good move. It seems like you want to do like what Roseanne did. You get a place on an island that is already populated, a bunch of nice people. You establish yourself as a valuable member in the community, and then you set up a little camp there. Imagine the Big Island. The Big Island might be the move. You set up a fucking studio on the Big Island.
Hell yeah.
What do you think?
Let's do it.
It's not a bad idea, right?
Keck Observatory. Can we do it up there? Will they let us?
No, they
So we
won't
can
even
just-
let them build a new telescope.
What if we take a tent and a microphone up there? Then?
No, they get mad at you. You're littering.
Temporary.
No.
All right.
No, you don't want to be up there anyway. There's no air. So that's
So
really
we'll do a
hot. It's
podcast
like
while we watch.
11,000 square feet. Redban would be blacking out. we need to have something like near like Kona, like where the Four Seasons is. See, again, the Four Seasons.
Bring oxygen with us.
I'm Four Seasons
All right,
minded.
all
right. Oxygen
We fly
basement.
people into the Four Seasons. We rent a suite at the Four Seasons, set it up as a studio.
Yes.
Sounds great. But we have to have an
Yes.
escape oxygen like basement we can go to just in case of a hurricane or something crazy happens.
An oxygen basement?
Or like an escape room.
We could
during-
Airbnb it out to other podcasters that need a vacation. Not anyone,
Fuck
but like your
that.
friend, like a
No.
good friend of yours.
Fuck that. They would ruin it. Yeah.
Maybe farts.
Come on, Ari's gonna go there and fill it with
No,
MDMA.
not
all the
Ari.
water,
Not
all the seal
Ari.
in the water be broken. Yeah, trust me, bad idea. He's gonna
Spent
put acid on
like
all the
Sam
doorknobs.
Harris. Someone who could go meditate there quietly. Someone like that.
Sam Harris goes on those things where you don't talk for 10 days.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of here with all of that. He comes back, he still seems the same. I don't get it. These guys, they go on these fucking retreats. I mean, I'm sure there's a benefit. I'm sure there's a benefit to silent meditation, but you can take it and stuff it deep in your ass. Fuck you. I like talking to people, man. There's not enough time in this life.
You don't like to meditate?
I do meditate for 10 minutes every
Oh,
day.
okay.
10. 10 minutes. That's not much.
It's not much.
And I cancel it out when I do yoga. I don't meditate on yoga days because I feel like yoga is basically meditation anyway. It's like a strain and meditation all combined. And I cancel it out on days I get in the tank. But other than that, it's beneficial. It definitely helps me, man. I got too much just bouncing around inside my head, but it's like it's controllable. I just need to get out ahead of it, Like today. Today I went for a nice run, went running with the dog, and I feel great. you know, because I got it all out of the system, and it's just like, I did what I had to do. Come here to do a podcast with you. Everything's wonderful. Life is beautiful. It's all falling into place. But when it's not, and there's like loose ends that need to be sealed up, and I'm behind on this, and I don't think good. You know, it doesn't. If I don't take care of all the things that I'm supposed to take care of, I do not enjoy my time. That's, to me, I found that, like, that's a painful lesson that took forever to learn. That if I don't have all my ducks in a row and my T's crossed and my I's dotted, I'm not happy. There's too much things to think about, too much anxiety. I think that's what's going on with a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people out there that just don't have their shit together, and they don't ever just say, look, before I do anything else, I got to get, like Jordan Peterson talks about this. He says, just clean your room. Like, start with that. You can clean your room. And most people don't. You keep your room a mess, and then your life's a mess. And there's an analogy there. There's a metaphor there. Whatever other word you would like. You know what I'm talking about, Brian.
Yes.
So now that you're not keto, what are you doing with your diet? You trying to be healthy?
No, not really.
Fuck
No,
being healthy.
but it definitely has made me understand sugar more.
Are you still smoking cigarettes?
Yeah, I'm vaping a lot more, but yeah.
How much cigarettes do you smoke a day?
Half pack.
Still a lot.
Yeah. But I don't
get drunk,
smoke in my car, so my cigarette has gone down like
Because of that?
like
That's
75%.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
What would you think if we decided to do that as a project? Hire you a trainer and hire you a nutritionist. Would you be down with that?
Sure.
Like film it as a project?
Yeah.
What would you like? What do you weigh now? You don't have to tell everybody, but what would you like to get down to?
But see, that's the problem. When I got down, like 15 years ago or 13 years ago, whatever. I think that was like 65 pounds or something, and I just thought I looked like I had AIDS or something.
Well,
Like,
you're just used to yourself looking big.
Yeah, but I think some people, like, they have a body shape or look that looks way better with a little chub on them than they do if they look. I don't know. I feel like I look like.
You know what Joey Diaz said when he lost a lot of weight? Remember
Yeah.
when he lost a lot of weight? My fucking head looked too big.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what that is? It's like you got to build up your body. Because something happens to people when they gain weight. Your head gets bigger. It's like when people get really heavy, their head gets bigger. And I don't know if like a biologist can back us up on this, some sort of science, but it seems like really overweight people, their head gets really big too. Like it grows with them, which kind of makes sense because there's like your bones definitely get bigger and thicker when you lift a lot of weights, right? Now, when you're 450 pounds, you're carrying weight everywhere you go. So everything's got to be thick. Like I always said, if Ralphie May wound up losing all that weight, he'd be able to kick a hole through a fucking wall because that guy's carrying around 500 pounds everywhere he goes. Yeah. His leg muscles had to be gigantic. Like underneath all that, his legs must have been fucking huge. So if you could just put some muscle on while you're losing the fat, see, that's the difference. Like
right.
when you were on that, you look great then, dude. Look at you, sexy bitch.
Now look
How
at the
did you think you look bad?
No,
there?
well,
Stop.
That's an
Stop.
okay. That's an okay picture.
Stop it! You're a handsome, beautiful man.
I was thinking more
Come
of
on,
the
how
one.
good does he look, Jamie? How good does he
great.
look? You
Looks
look.
great.
You look fucking great there.
I was thinking more of the time when the photo of me and you with that weed guy that died at the 420 Awards, where I just looked like an 8. That's when I was at my lowest.
The weed guy that died.
The one that has all the shit. I can't even think of his name. He has weed named after him. He's very famous.
Jack Herrera. Yeah, he had a stroke.
Yeah. We were hanging out with
there?
him, me and you, and that's when I was at my skinniest. I think I was like 160, 155 or something like that. I don't even remember. But I just looked like a
Didn't you
sick
feel
dog.
so light though when you move around?
Yeah, I
like you could
guess
just
so.
get places quicker.
Yeah.
Like, oh, lighter.
Definitely had more energy, that's for sure.
Dude, you can do this. What would you think about doing this as a project? Like, we'll announce it on the podcast. We'll start it off. Would you be into doing something like that?
Yeah, I mean, eventually, not like this month because I have to go to Australia and
Why
all
would
this
I
shit.
start it now?
Well, I have to go to Australia. I'm going to be out of the country.
When are you going back? What are you doing, Kill Tony out there?
Yeah, doing Kill Tony, and then yeah. So this month is all I'm on the road. Almost.
Okay. Well, I'm busy being sober this month too. It's very difficult for me. It's fucking surprisingly easy. You know, it's not hard at all. I do enjoy a glass of wine with a steak. I do miss that. I like a glass of wine, but it's not that important.
Yeah,
But it's like a tradition thing. Like I'm missing the like something to look forward to. A nice glass of red wine with a steak, like a gentleman.
I think it's only hard when I'm at the Comedy Store. 'Cause
Yeah, everybody's drinking.
Yeah, it's almost impossible.
I do like a shot of whiskey before I go on stage too. I like that,
Yep.
but I can't.
God,
But-
now
It's almost over.
it's halfway. Now, it's not even halfway. It's
the 10th.
One third.
The 9th. Yeah. 1/3. Yeah. It's been easy. The weed part's easy. It's really easy. Show's been great. Had a great time last night. Did 3 shows. That I'll tell you one thing though. That Jeremiah show's not as easy. Stand up on the spot. It's not as easy when you're not high.
That's true.
When you're high, you can just ramble about nonsense and you come up with bits. I've come up with so many bits from that show, but not when I'm sober. Last night was basically useless.
That's the only show that I purposely do shots, drink,
Oh, yeah.
smoke a bunch of weed before I go on. Usually
Yes.
I don't like to get that stoned before I
Right.
go on stage.
No, that's the perfect
Yeah.
show to be out of your head.
Yeah.
He really should listen to you though and rename it Thunder Pussy. That was the best name. When you called it Thunder Pussy, it was the perfect name for that.
I just need to make a new show called Thunder Pussy.
I mean, it's not like he's the only one who's ever done a show that has
Right.
people just making things up.
Right.
And I used to do that at the end of my shows. Remember, I used to have people
Q&As.
call out, but they would call out things to talk about, and they would yell out subjects, and I would just ramble about them. And occasionally, the reason why I would do it is occasionally, like one every 2 or 3 shows, I'd come up with an idea that actually would come up and become a bit.
Dude, I just remembered something. We were in Dallas last weekend for Kill Tony, and there was a bisexual on stage, and he was talking about how he's bisexual. And a lot of times when people are on stage on this show, I'll be like on my computer, like typing in bisexual on Spotify or something, to see what comes up. And you come up like number 1 or number 2 on Spotify. If you just type bisexual, it's you. And then so I point to Tony while we're interviewing the guy, and he goes like that. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to just play. Like I can't hear anything,
Right.
so like I'll just play like because I do sound effects on the Kill
Was it
Tony.
that bit that I used to have?
The old
don't
one.
believe in bisexual men.
Yeah, shiny happy
Yeah.
jihad. And so I just randomly, like with my eye, look. Oh, it looks like just yelling something here, and it would be like crafty gay guys or something like that. And so like I started mixing in just random like picking things, and then there's a part of the joke where I think you're talking like about if you were the bisexual guy, because then there was one where it was like, so yeah, I experimented once in a while.
Oh, no, that was a different bit. But
It's
yeah.
one on Shiny Happy Jihad.
Yeah.
But it worked so how, dude, people were on the floor because it sounded like you were just in the back of the room, like,
Yelling it out, heckling. That's a funny thing to like. If you have 1 minute on stage, the first thing you're going to talk about is being bisexual.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how like that becomes like for people's identity, like their sexuality becomes an important thing about their identity that they want to blur it out to everyone. But like if you're heterosexual, nobody does that because it's the norm. It's the norm. You don't feel like you have to get it out of the way. You don't say, "Well, my name's Brian. I really like girls."
Right.
Right? Everybody would be like, "What? Yeah, I'm heterosexual."
Yeah.
What? But if you say you're bisexual, people are like, "Oh my God, you're adventurous."
Yeah.
Exotic.
And
You're
people always
crazy.
tell you when they're bisexual, at least guys.
Yeah. Or girls. They love telling
yeah,
you.
you're right.
But it's like a thing they do to get attention. It's like, certain girls, they're always around guys. They just talk about their guy problems. And it's like, oh, grown. I know what you're doing. You're like fishing for saviors. You're fishing for some guy to come along and send you some dick and fix your problem. You know what I mean? Like some girls like, God, these guys I date, they just never want to have sex. Those little bait traps that girls set up,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh my God, who's gonna fall for this one? Stop. You know how it goes, Brian.
Of course I do.
Hey man, it's 2:00. I gotta wrap this up. Tickets for Australia, are they still available? For Kill
Yeah,
Tony?
there's just some left. Also,
Deathsquad.tv.
yeah, San Francisco next weekend. We're
guys
doing
at Cobb's?
four shows. Cobb's.
Woo.
Yeah. So
Oh,
that's-
Friday and Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
2 shows each night.
Oh damn.
It's Kill Tony Mania.
Oh, that's fun. Are you doing stand up too, or just doing Kill Tony? there?
This we're just doing Kill Tony because it's like our yearly like festival.
Oh,
that we
okay,
do
cool.
type
Is
thing.
there a lot of comics up in San Francisco?
Yeah, and there's a lot of comics that just come down or come up for this. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure, right?
Yeah.
From all of the
Yeah.
the area. Okay. Redban on Twitter,
Yes.
Redban on Instagram. Anything
Yes.
else?
Nope, that's it. Check me out on Ari Shafir's podcast. I just did
Check 'em out.
Skeptic Tank.
Bye everybody.